You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Episode 685, Wizard of Oz. Hit me, Tyler.
1, 2. Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of the TADPOG podcast. Truncate sounds probably read all that. Maybe, I don't know.
I just won't use it this time.
So,
no truncate silence this time, so we got to be real on fucking
Be
point.
really on point. I'm tired of doing
we're
that.
going in raw.
Yeah. I mean, it usually only takes like what, 2 minutes out?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Not even 2 minutes.
We're pretty good, but it's usually when I'm like, hold on, I need to flip through this book for 30 seconds.
Ever since I've been editing the show, I've had one or two where it's been like X length, and I'll run truncate silence on the file, and it'll disappear off my screen because like I'm at the end of the track, and so much of it has just disappeared. So, but usually it's not a big deal.
I have to be really careful about it on the Scott Pilgrim episodes because it will cut out Nicole's dialogue entirely.
Will it?
Yeah.
We have. I made the mistake of trying to run it after putting everything together, and it'll take like this, like the transition music and stuff. It like cuts that completely out because it doesn't hear it. So.
Yeah,
But I'm good at it now.
let's just trust in it. Just let it do it at once. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Fuck the
This is-
randomizer.
I,
We're
for
bowing
one,
to
welcome our
truncate
machine
si-
overlords.
Yeah, this is
We're
art.
bowing to truncate silence now.
So, Tyler and Dave and Ian is silent, play old games.
We do play old games.
So this week we decided to, I guess the way I look at it, because when we first started doing this, we heard about, I don't know, I could remember 7 clearly. 7 horrible SNES games were the one, like every list, every person, like 7 games that everyone said were like the worst fucking things in the SNES. We've done most of them. So we're doing another one today in The Wizard of Oz.
Do you remember the other ones that were on there?
Shaq Fu.
Okay,
We've done Shaq Fu. Just Shaq Fu early.
we did real early. Yeah.
Bebe's Kids. Lester the Unlikely.
We haven't done that
We haven't
one
done
yet.
Lester. Wizard of Oz. Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball.
Yeah.
And Pit Fighter.
Okay, we haven't done Pit Fighter
I thought
yet
you
either.
did Pit Fighter before.
Not yet.
No.
I've never played Pit Fighter. I've heard all about it.
Played it in the arcade a bunch, but I never
Oh, yeah.
played it on the SNES.
Played a shit ton of it in the arcade at Mr. Gaddy's on South
Yeah,
Side.
it was a cool game because it was the first one that really did like real looking people in it.
Because whenever The Simpsons was full, I would play Pit Fighter.
Well, I have plenty of notes on Wizard of Oz, so we'll have a lot to talk about, I think.
Great.
Yeah. Before we get to all that, though, what you guys been up to?
I've been watching a lot of shit on TV.
What?
Huh?
I know this is new.
You feeling okay?
I know this is new. I know I haven't been
All right,
feeling myself.
Give me fodder for the show notes.
Oh, there's plenty of it this week because as of the date of this airing, which is the 26th of October, we are rapidly approaching what is my
Armageddon.
second favorite holiday.
You're not wrong. The midterms are coming up on us.
Armageddon. No, Halloween is right around the corner. And I've been more into it this year than usual. My son does this thing every year where he does his own sort of 31 days of Halloween and picks a different movie that he's never seen, like a horror movie or a thriller type movie that fits into the season. And he watches one every day. And we've watched a few of them with him, but I have some honorable mentions for this season that I would like to talk about, nay, recommend in some cases, if you would indulge me.
Of course.
Seems to be a segment now, what I'm watching. I don't know.
Ian's,
Because I don't do anything.
Ian's horror hole.
I don't do
Ian's
anything
horror
interesting
hole.
except watch TV and play video games. So, first thing I want to get out of the way, this is not Halloween related.
Yeah.
I'm still watching The Office.
Okay. There are Halloween episodes of The Office.
There are Halloween episodes of The Office.
Strangler.
I'm not there yet, but I'm close.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it a lot, actually.
Good. I'm glad.
I've gradually kind of gotten over my Schadenfreude fear, you know. It's a good show. I get it. I'm enjoying it immensely. So I'll report back. Hopefully, I'll probably be done with it by next week. So we'll see. I don't know. But I have 2 huge crushes on that show now. But I've had a crush on Mindy Kaling forever.
But it's not her. It's Phyllis and Bob.
It's Phyllis and no Creed, actually.
Yeah, I got a crush on Creed. I get
It's
it.
hard not to because I'm
it.
kind of like him.
Creed's pretty much, he's one of those where it's like, he's a great spice because it's like, I never wanted like an episode about Creed or anything like that, but they always just throw
just
Creed
enough.
in, just a little, one little, like he says 2 lines and it's like, that's enough Creed. That's a perfect.
It is. And his stuff is so well timed and well delivered. It's impeccable. I just finished Disco Cafe, where Michael uses his office space downstairs to have a disco.
Yeah.
Creed donates his mirror ball. He says, this was hanging on my rearview mirror, but I believe it belongs in here. And Michael he's like, oh, that's great. And Creed's like, no, I'm not going to be able to see who's behind me, but that's fine. Just shit like that perfectly. But anyway, I'm crushing on Mindy Kaling, and Holly.
Oh yeah,
Michael's love interest, Holly, is my jam.
Yeah,
I love that woman, and I love how
because she's in Only Murders in the Building too.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible that I'm not aware of her name right now. It skipped my mind.
Holly from The Office. I think
Holly
it's
from
her
The Office
legal
is
name.
her legal name. From the is her middle name.
Right. The hospital, they don't even question it.
Nope.
They're just like, you wrote it on the sheet.
Oh, you're Holly from
That's
The
good.
Office. That's fine. No, she's great.
I'm sorry, Holly from The Office. That's fine as my mother.
Right. That's my maiden name. But I'm crushing hard on Holly, and it broke my heart. So far, my heart has been broken. I don't know what's to come, but I'm enjoying the show a lot. So I just wanted to do an office update. Now, to the Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Hellraiser on Hulu is a new
show?
It's a remake of it's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay.
It's on Hulu now. It's just as Clive Barker, who did the originals, put it. It's a reconfiguration.
Okay.
It's a reboot, but it's way better than the first one. It's actually really super good. I enjoy the first one a lot.
I like
but
the first one.
It didn't make. I don't know. I felt like they didn't give us enough of what was driving the whole Cinnabite thing and the puzzle box and what the.
I didn't even know what they were called until a few episodes ago.
Right, exactly. This one, they actually do kind of. They explain more about what the puzzle box is, why it is what it does, and where the Cinnabites came from, and things of that nature. So, and it was written by Clive Barker, so it's true to form. It's really, really fucking good. For fans of the genre, I highly recommend it.
Good.
My next up was Halloween Kills.
I've heard that is not good.
It is a terrible, terrible movie.
I was curious. I didn't want to color your
Nope.
But I've heard from
it's horrible.
I've heard from a lot of people that
Is
it's
this
like
the last one?
It's
the most recent one.
It's the most recent one.
Oh, okay.
There's never going to be a last one. They are going to milk that cash cow probably forever. But look, I got to say, the franchise has been around for 45 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've always enjoyed it a lot. There have been a lot of missteps along the way, but these last 3 movies, these most recent 3 movies, which are called Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. I said Halloween Kills. I meant to say Halloween Ends is the movie. The most recent one just came out last week.
Halloween Ends is not the last one?
Nope. Well, as of now,
Right now it is.
I'm just predicting that it won't. That the franchise, they're not going to end it forever. But this particular iteration with Jamie Lee Curtis and being in it,
I mean,
and
she's going to die eventually.
she's the original Scream Queen, right? And so the Halloween movies, in my opinion, were never great movies, but I've always loved them for.
I like the first
reasons.
one that I just recently saw.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
it was
one.
fine. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
and the second one was fine. It was a direct continuation of the first one. These are the originals, by the way. Halloween 3 was called Season of the Witch.
Right.
And we talked about this before. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Because it was going to be an anthology.
There was going to be an anthology series of different stories every couple of years.
Which I do wish I wish they would have done that.
I totally wish they would have too. We did talk about that on the show before. That being said, they've had a bunch of Halloween movies between there. They've technically disregarded these as canon and picked right back up with the newest Halloween movie from 4 or 5 years ago, which was amazing. It was really, really good. And the follow-up to it, Halloween Kills, was fine. It wasn't great, and it kind of devolves as the movie goes along. It stops being very enjoyable, but it's tolerable. It's fine. This one was supposed to be. I fell for the hype. It was supposed to be the finale, to end all finales. It was going to be this amazing, awesome movie. And again, I am guilty of coloring people's opinions by stating my own right now. But I would imagine that anyone who's a fan of the series has probably seen the movie by the time this thing airs. So it just fell completely and totally flat. It didn't make sense in the story. It didn't make sense in this current trilogy. The ending was stupid. Everything about this movie was a disappointment. And I thought it was fine. It would have been fine on its own, like as not a Halloween movie. Replace the killer and you'd have had a whole different movie and it would have been fine. But in the context of this franchise, it was a huge, huge, huge disappointment. I do not recommend this movie, but I also do recommend it because I would like to hear other opinions. But for anyone that's a fan of the series, I need to know if I'm off base here. In my household, we're in agreement. It wasn't a very good.
From everything I've heard, I haven't heard one person say that it was good.
It's not. It's just not. And I can't imagine. There are things about it that are good. There are.
Name 3 things that you liked about
3 things.
Halloween Ends.
I could do it, but I'm not going to because I've got.
If Halloween Ends was a Pauly Shore movie, which movie would that be?
But yeah,
Biodome.
Highly disappointed with that one.
Is Jamie Lee Curtis is she starring in that movie?
She is. Or? It's more about her than it is more about her character than anything, and that's fine. That's okay because everyone, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but everyone had a predisposed notion as to what was going to happen. And then apparently there was something put out. One thing I can say that it doesn't do, this isn't a spoiler, there was some talk about the possibility of maybe connecting it loosely to Halloween 3. Just for fun.
Yeah.
And if
Zelda
they had
timeline shit.
Exactly. But if they had written something like that in, that would have been neat. That would have been a really nice bit of fan service, and I think that would have taken it in a more appropriate direction. Yeah, probably a peg or two, but they didn't. And excuse me, I've been ill for a week. You're gonna hear me coughing and
I was exposed to COVID. It's
fine. But anyway, super disappointed. I hate that they let that franchise just fall so flat on its face because there was a huge expectation here, and they let me down. They let a lot of the people I've talked to so far about it down. I know it's just a movie, but this is one of those things you just need to try to get it right.
Sure.
And they just did not. It was like they just phoned in the whole thing. It didn't make sense.
I don't know that I would check it out anyway because I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but I'm really not interested in, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hate to say this, but it's just like, she's just so old. You know what I mean?
You're not going to like that she shows full bush in this one.
No, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying I don't want that. I'm just saying that, I don't know. It kind of I guess it's just one of those where, because I've only seen one Halloween movie, so I guess I just don't understand the weight of how important her character is.
The importance of it comes to light really in this not this one, but the Halloween movie that came out a few years ago, the one that was sort of the technical sequel to Halloween 2.
Okay.
Like the follow-up is 40 years later or whatever. And now Jamie Lee's character, Laurie Strode, is like holed up in her cabin in the woods, and she's got everything locked down, and she's got guns, and she just knows that at any point Michael Myers is coming to get her.
Sure.
And,
Now, Cabin in the Woods, though.
but it's not
That's
Cabin
good.
in the
Cabin
Woods.
in the
Now,
Woods,
that is
that
a
If
is a
she
great
went to the
fucking
Cabin
movie.
in the Woods, then
I would look A Cabin in the Woods starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, I'm in. I guess it's just for whatever
and
reason.
Nev Campbell. Let's just put
Yeah,
them together.
of course,
Get it, do
absolutely.
it.
Courtney
I'm
Cox,
there.
get her back
Yep.
in. Yeah,
Hey, the most recent Scream movie was actually pretty decent.
was it
so I
good?
liked
I'm
it.
glad to hear that. I like the first 2 Scream movies.
But anyway, that
I like
one was
3,
great,
okay.
and the
I
newest.
mean, it's fine.
1 and 2 were good. 3 was okay.
I'll watch
Yeah.
all the Scream movies. I'm down. I love them all.
Yeah.
That's another franchise that's dear to my heart.
Hey, man, like I said, 1 and 2. 1, I think 1 is a great movie.
Oh yeah, it's set a new standard.
totally. And then like
for the
it was,
genre.
it feels like 1 felt like one of the first like meta horror movies.
really was,
where it's like
yeah.
let's deconstruct what horror movies are and
But
riff
make
on
it
that.
effective and
but,
scary,
but still
and-
make it
yeah,
effective. Absolutely.
exactly.
And then I feel like the second one did more of that and explored different
Again,
tropes
yeah.
and stuff. And I felt like it did it well again. And the third one, I liked the third one okay. I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was as strong as those first 2.
Yeah.
Was it? Am I right in remembering? I remember somebody talking about how in the first one, Drew Barrymore thought the phone was disconnected, so she keeps dialing 911, but it wasn't disconnected. So 911 like eventually shows up on set.
No.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
No,
Like,
I don't know about that.
that's funny.
But anyway, I'm not going to get into the Halloween thing much
Okay.
more. I just
All right.
really want to drop that bomb on everybody and warn
Sorry,
you.
Jamie Lee. I know you're listening. I didn't mean to call you old.
Yeah, and I hate that for her because I think that was in a lot of ways that was a swan song for her.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
that's where she got her start, and I'm sure she's proud of it. And
Well, crazy talented lady. So I'm glad she's still doing. Big
Oh yeah,
box office
Knives
stuff.
Out is fucking amazing.
Knives Out
Oh,
is
I've never seen it.
amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's great in
Yes.
that.
Oh,
Oh my
yes.
God. So
With-
She wrote
Jamie
a-
Lee,
With the hot dog fingers, very good. Very good.
She wrote it. Yeah, they got that. They got that,
that.
episode, from oh my God, Tim get this. My butt is on a moose. What's Tim Green? Tom Green.
Tom
Good
Green.
Lord. Man, you gotta give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute.
You'll work up to it.
Hey, kids, touch your balls so you don't get cancer. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Tom Green.
Exactly. Didn't he have sausage fingers at one point?
Probably.
I remember.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes.
I couldn't even hear it. I could just visualize
him
the hands
playing
going
the,
up and down.
organ or whatever. Yeah.
But she's doing
God,
fine.
What
She's
do I call him? Tim Dunnigan.
Tim and Eric. I don't know. But no, she's fine and she's doing fine, and it's just that was not a good movie. So
Yeah.
moving on,
All right.
because I don't want to take up too much time on all this. We watched an unbelievably and surprisingly good movie last night on Shudder called Deadstream.
Deadstream.
Deadstream. This movie is directed by a guy named Joseph
It's
Winter.
about my Twitch stream or
Well,
rest in
no,
peace.
but
Pepperoni and cheese.
it's directed by a guy named Joseph Winter, and the premise of the movie is there's an internet personality that is like shamed. He made some really bad choices and streamed some stuff that he shouldn't have, and
What do you stream?
getting into a fight with a hobo.
Oh, okay. Not the Wizard of Oz.
Not Wizard of Oz.
I thought this might be good.
And anyway, he decides to try and win back his followers by
By
live
fighting more hobos.
yeah, by live
I'm
streaming.
just not doing this enough.
Yeah, I gotta lean into it.
Just,
You guys like bum fights, right?
I got to make it cool again.
it'll catch on. He does it by live streaming himself spending the night in a haunted house.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's super fucking funny.
Oh,
It's
really?
Really well written. The special effects are amazing. This thing is
Really?
It's got notes of Sam Raimi a la Army of Darkness.
Wow.
It's honestly, I
Two
laughed.
people get raped by trees in this one.
I laughed. That was
That's
Evil
what we call
Dead.
Bruce Campbell's cum. Drops of Sam Raimi.
Was it Evil Dead?
The tree rapes were in Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
The Army of Darkness is where he goes back to the past.
Oh, yeah.
and
You're right.
Fights Skeleton Army.
There are 2 tree rapes, though, right?
I think so.
An Evil Dead and Evil Dead
one
2.
in each Evil Dead movie. Yeah.
So I would just, I've seen them all, but I just assume there's tree rape in every one of them.
There's also, I
Do you know
think,
there's a hidden tree rape in Spider-Man? Sam Raimi puts a tree rape in every movie he directs. I don't know. It's a little
I didn't know
fact.
that.
That's what. Yeah, whenever the sky's splitting open, you can see in the corner a tree raping.
That's right. That's why they'll never give him Guardians of the Galaxy. They don't trust him with Groot.
This one quickly joined the ranks of one of my favorite horror movies ever.
Deadstream.
It's right up there with Cabin in the Woods.
Damn.
I highly recommend this
All right,
movie.
I'm going to check this one out.
Deadstream. It's a great film. The guy that directs is named Joseph Winter. He also is the main character. He's the guy doing the streaming.
Okay.
Highly recommend that one. And then we watched the VHS series. Have you seen these movies?
I wanted to. They were streaming for a really long time on, I think, Netflix. And then finally one day I was like, I'm going to watch those. And then they were gone.
Yeah, now they're on Hulu.
Okay, they're on Hulu.
And
now.
one of them is on Shudder.
Okay.
The most recent. And there's a new one coming out, would have by now come out last Friday.
Or would that be the. Oh,
This
Sorry, go ahead.
coming Friday, which is last Friday to our
Time travel.
listeners.
You do the algebra.
Yeah.
Right, is VHS 99 is what it's called, and that is a great series. It's an anthology.
I've heard it's good, yeah.
Each episode, it's found footage.
See, yeah, I didn't know it was an anthology. Then when I found that out, I was like, oh, I love anthology horror. I
Yeah.
want to watch this. And then it was gone off Netflix. So I'm glad to hear it.
It's on
back
Hulu,
somewhere.
and you can definitely get them all. We watched them all. And then the last thing I watched is another Shudder movie called The Host. And it's about a Zoom meeting in early COVID times where this one woman and her friends get together on a Zoom meeting with a woman who tries to help them do a seance, and it goes horribly wrong.
I've heard about this movie.
So
Pretty
I think
good.
The Host is also the Stephanie Myers. After she wrote Twilight, she wrote The Host.
Really?
Oh,
I think
really?
That's another book, yeah.
Okay.
So this is the horror movie. The Host.
Well, this one it's good. It's all done in a Zoom meeting. The whole
Yeah.
movie takes place in a Zoom meeting, which was pretty cool.
Zoom by name,
Zoom, as in the,
like it would, like you can see Zoom,
yeah,
like sign
yeah,
off.
it
on
is
Okay.
the actual
Okay.
app.
You know, like Room Space or something. You know.
It would be room space.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
We had already seen it, but we rewatched it, and it was neat because when we first watched it, this was in the hot. We're all working from home. We're all doing everything
Sure.
over Zoom and Teams, and it was neat to watch. At one point, one of the meeting participants, some things happen, and she decides she's going to go help. And in the panic of all the stuff that's going on, she still manages to get her mask on before she leaves the house.
Good.
So very aware. But yeah, another really good movie. And so by the time this comes out, it's not quite Halloween. So check these movies out. They're great seasonal favorites of ours. So I hope you all enjoy those too.
Did you say that was on Shudder as well?
Host is on The Host.
The Host.
The Host, not Host.
I think there's like
The
a
Host.
Korean monster movie called The Host as
Okay.
well.
That's not the one I'm referring
Right,
to.
yeah,
but,
yeah. But that was a good one
It
too.
is on Shudder, and it's short. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Gotcha.
It's an easy watch.
So it's like a webinar. They want to keep it real.
Exactly.
Keep it real pertinent.
So yeah. For everything but Halloween ends 4 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out.
Have you seen It Follows?
I have seen that.
I saw it it's one of those where I wanted to watch it for a really long time, and then I saw it on one of the streaming services.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was.
it's
I'm
just
just
out
flipping
there,
through
yeah.
it. It's streaming somewhere, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I meant to watch that.
It's a good movie.
And I watched it, and I liked it, and then I was like, how long ago was that? And it was like, oh wow. Because I mean, it was like 6 years ago or something like that, which doesn't, I guess, seem like that long ago.
I qualify that as recent.
Well, I have to, yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah, otherwise
I lose
it's
my
the
The
mind.
video game we're playing from '93, so yeah, 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought
This
it
is
was
the
good.
one where you have to pass the curse on to somebody.
Yeah, it's
and then once you've done that, you're cursed, and then you sleep with somebody, and then they get the curse, and
yeah, you pass it on. It's like STD, but in ghost form.
Yeah, and then so after you've passed on the curse, now there is a slow-moving entity or person or something always following,
Always following,
always around, and they don't move fast, but they don't ever stop moving.
Right,
and they'll come get you.
Yep.
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was.
They
really
got
good.
him. Would the curse be broken?
No,
Because he can't fuck anybody else.
If they get him,
the previous person,
they get the previous
They go
one.
after the previous, and then it
They
starts
just
going
follow
back.
the chain back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I thought
I
that was
know.
an excellent explanation. It's
I know.
it's not that easy.
It's cool.
Can't
Yeah.
just tie up your person you caught that gave the curse and let them get killed. No,
Yep.
then that means it's your problem again.
And they do a really good job of make some really creepy stuff that it's you might not notice. It's one of those where you have to be paying attention to it because it that follows will take different forms. So you'll never know what it's going to look
But
like.
usually they're like in one scene at the very beginning of the movie, the thing following the person that gets it past is a naked woman, just a naked woman, but she's under a highway overpass, walking very slowly, naked towards you. So at that point you're like, something's not right about this,
Right.
But later on, it could be some random dude in the park,
Right.
That just is you're not paying attention. Suddenly now you've got this guy walking towards you, and then you remember, oh fuck, I'm cursed. I need to probably get away from that guy.
Yeah.
So,
It's cool. It's a cool movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's not like a jump scare kind of movie.
No, it's a slow burn.
But it's real
it's
eerie.
tense.
It's
tense.
tense. It
Yeah.
is tense.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, jump scares just feel like cheap.
Yeah, I love a good jump scare, but the problem is you get jump scared so many times, you kind of expect the jump scare.
Yeah.
You can see how the shot's set up, and it's oh, there's going to be something's going to pop out right there, and you can kind of play it. But I like it when directors play on that, where they're we're just going to leave this empty space where you feel like something's going to pop out, and nothing does for the whole scene.
They got
And
you
then-
all tensed up and ready, and then nothing happens,
yeah.
which is almost worse.
I know, it's great, and it pays off later.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So
One of the movies I mentioned, I won't say which, has a fucking amazingly good jump scare in it that got me.
Yeah?
It got me.
I love it when it's so rare,
It's
but-
rare to get me
Yeah.
because I'm usually paying attention and I see it coming, but
Yeah.
that shit fucking got me.
I love watching movies with jump scares with Nikki because it doesn't matter how it doesn't. She'll know it's coming, but when it happens, it still gets her
priceless,
every
yeah.
time. Yeah, it's pretty good.
But that's all I've got. What about you, Dave? What have you been up to, my man?
I went to California, to Newport Beach for work.
California. hey.
California.
They know how to party. I hear.
Party.
They were I was in the third.
Katy Perry says something about the girls over there as well. I'm not sure.
David Lee Roth is a big fan of the girls in that state.
Yeah. In fact, he wishes they all could be girls from that state.
I mean, the East Coast girl. No, I'm not gonna.
Please, God, I was gonna do it with you.
I remember that's all Brandon of Axelay's fame's girlfriend in high school talked about was moving to California
Yeah.
to the point it about drove him fucking crazy.
Oh, I know it did. And he used to do an impression of her saying California that was also a blend of the kid from The Wizard doing it. That's what he likened her to, was the kid from The Wizard.
You know where she lives now? Not California.
Tijuana.
We're friends on Facebook just so I can see if she ever moves to
You
California.
just set up a Google alert.
I don't know. It's cheaper to live in TJ than it is to live in California. A lot more
Boy,
dangerous.
Let me tell you about how expensive it is in California.
Do it.
Holy shit, it's real expensive. Nikki got to go with me. She got invited to go, so which was great. So she came with, and if Henry had been on fall break or something, if it would have lined up, then he would have come too.
You went to where? LA?
Newport Beach is I don't know if it's considered in the greater LA area.
The LA megalopolis.
I assume it is because it's 35 minutes from LAX.
Probably then.
So, I mean, it's like one of those.
I mean, they kind of consider Boston, New York, and Washington, D.C. to be a mega city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called a megalopolis.
Okay.
I learned that in school.
Oh, yeah, I didn't go to that.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, it was expensive, but and I had to work a lot. But when I go on these trips, I like to go and eat places that I can't normally eat. And boy, between this and Memphis, I'm on a restrictive diet as of starting today.
Cut loose, did you?
A little bit,
As you should.
yeah,
As
a
you
little
Yeah,
bit.
dude, you got to experience it.
Give me a month, I'll get it off. But
Yeah.
I mean. But in a month I'll be going to Chicago where I'm definitely
You're gonna
like
eat a lot
yeah,
in
I'm already
Chicago.
like getting pizza recommendations
Yeah,
and hot
yeah.
dog
Well,
recommendations.
and now you can check California
So-
off your states you've had sex in list.
That is true.
Yeah.
I can check it off several times. Man, so the first night we got there, we went to a taco bar called Super Panga. And we were
Topanga go Super Saiyan.
yeah, it was weird because her power level was, am I doing it right?
Yeah, yes.
Am I setting up
Yep.
the joke right?
Yep.
Okay.
California's so expensive. Guess what Super Topanga's power level
How
was?
expensive is it? We got an Uber to go to a bar down at the beach, and because we could see the beach from like our hotel room, which was really nice. And so but it was also weird because it's like,
You're still Uber distance away.
yeah, it's crazy because it's like to get anywhere, like there's this bay, right? And to get anywhere, you have to drive around the bay. So it's like you can see something in a straight line being like, oh man, if I could just go straight, then I could walk there in like 5 minutes. But because it involves driving around a bay, it's like it's a 12-minute drive kind of
Right.
deal. So this taco place was like down by the beach, and so we're driving to this bar, we're Ubering down to this bar, and as we're driving to the bar, I'm asking the driver, I'm like, so are you from here? I'm assuming you live here, and he's like, yeah. And it's weird, like when people say yeah, then they tell you a different city that they live in. So it's like that. It's like that
Yeah.
megalopolis shit.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I'm from, whatever. I can't remember all the surrounding towns, but and it's like, oh, is that here? And he's like, yeah, it's like 15 minutes away. And it's like, okay, so this is just a bunch of towns that are all 15 to 10
Yeah, you
minutes away.
can't tell
from
where
each other.
one starts and the other stops.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I'm asking him for I was like, so where do you eat? Like where's good? Where should we? This is the thing that I like to do when I travel, and it's really the only thing I have time to do when I travel is go somewhere and have a meal. And so he's telling me all this, and we're driving, and as he's telling me this, we drive by this bright pink building that says like Super Panga taco bar or taco Rita. Yeah. So I'm like, so Nikki and I are both like, oh, maybe we want to go there. And then he drops us off at the bar, and it's a loud bar that's packed, and they're doing trivia night.
Oh,
So we like
go for tacos.
didn't even walk in. We just walked down to Super Panga, and it was fucking good. I had so much good Mexican food there that it is that I definitely want to go back because we also
There's no comparison, is there?
no.
I've heard.
No.
I've heard.
No, there's fucking not. And it's like to the point where it's like that Super Panga was great. They had like these garage doors with windows in them that they had opened up, and like that looked out onto the bay, which was really nice. And I mean, it was nighttime, but still, it was great. And before we left, we went to this place called El Matador, and that was I could not believe how spicy this Mexican food was.
Whoa, okay.
And I mean, it was like, it wasn't like we're not talking, it wasn't crazy, but it was just like, wow, you're a like no one even was like, I want that
more
spicy.
Than pickled jalapenos? Just,
right.
What?
Right. And like the regular salsa was like, no one was touching it because it's like just the regular salsa. Like I had like, several scoops and I was like, oh damn, this is fucking real good. Like this is like, we didn't order special spicy salsa or nothing. So, and then like I got a fucking chicken burrito verde with that, and the fucking green sauce on that was hot, and it was like, this is the shit. And they had been there for like, I think 56 years.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So it was like, it was great. It was great.
Cool.
And then we went to this place called Mochi Nut, which is like mochi donuts.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, damn.
And those are really good. They had like all kinds of different flavors there. They had like regular glaze.
What is mochi?
So mochi is like this rice, essentially, that is... Tyler can probably tell you more than that. All I know is it's rice.
Well, because most of the way I have it is there's like ice cream in the middle, but it's almost. I've got some in the house. I'll bring you out one.
Okay, sure.
But they, instead of it being like fried dough, it's essentially fried rice, I guess. But not like
I know what you mean.
Not like egg fried rice or something. It's
like a rice batter that's
yes.
turned into a donut.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and it's chewier. It's chewier than and I like that. So I had, other than like mochi snacks and stuff like that, I never really had, mochi. And they had what they call Korean corn dogs there too.
Oh god damn.
Yeah.
Dude, tell.
I want one so man.
Oh, those were great. Like, and they were fucking like enormous. When I pulled mine out of the box, I was like, "There's no way that it's this heavy." And Nikki pulled one out. She got a Korean corn dog with it was called the potato.
America does not know how to corn dog compared to the Koreans.
Holy God, man. It was insane. It was essentially like, it looked like a medieval weapon when she took it out of the box, because it was like a giant corn dog that had been battered. And then they took like the ends of French fries, like the crispy ends of French fries, like chopped the ends off and then like rolled the batter in those like French fry tips. And so it's like, yeah, she had this like spiked like flail.
Nice.
And the problem was that it was like, it was good, but like we couldn't finish it. It was just like, holy shit, this is like huge.
So it is a hot dog?
Yeah, it's like a corn dog, but like,
it's a corn dog, but there's actually like a hot dog in it.
yeah, there's
Like
yes,
traditional corn dog, only done better.
yes, or you can, instead of hot dog, you can substitute mozzarella.
Ooh.
Or you could do half and half, which is half mozzarella, half hot dog.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in for the half and half.
I wanted corn dog, and I was like, I kind of regretted my decision, because I was like, I'm going to pick the most trash one that's here, but I have to try the flaming hot Korean corn dog.
Nice.
And it was pretty good until like halfway through, when it was like, this is good, but I'm done with this flavor. I'm
tired of the flavor,
I'm tired of
Flavor fatigue.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool. We went to this place called, and it was ridiculous too, because like we're getting Ubers to like all these like hole in the wall restaurants where it takes like 5 minutes to eat what we're eating. And then it's like, well, I guess we'll call a ride to get back to the hotel. Because we went to this place called Laventina's Big Cheese Pizza, which I expected to be like a sit-down restaurant. I don't know, because I'm just like looking up places online, and it's like, nope, it's just this tiny narrow building that has a window, and you go up to the window and you order the pizza that you want. And you can order by the slice, you can order it, by the pie. It was really good. We each got a slice and then like walked around the block while we ate it. And then it was like, all right, I guess we'll call that Lyft and go back to the hotel then. So it was good. Yeah. I mean, God, I love fucking eating at places like that I can't eat at regularly. I mean, it is so like,
that's awesome.
It is It is huge for me.
I know that's a big experience. I love that you're getting that opportunity.
Yeah, it's great. And it kind of, I was telling Nikki, I was like, this kind of like helps with my staying in one place for a long time fatigue that I get, because as a kid, you know, every 3 years we'd move somewhere.
Right.
So it's like, and we've been in this area now for a long time. And it's like, so, and this happens with my mom too. Like every 3 years, she's like, yeah, I feel like I gotta be like doing something. I gotta like go somewhere and do something. So this has really been helping with that.
That's great.
Because it's, I guess, is what people who take vacations feel like. Because like when I take a vacation, it's like a day here, a day there. We don't ever go anywhere. And like, and if we do, it's for like the weekend or something, you know, it's not very rare. It just has never happened since our honeymoon where it's been like, we're going somewhere for a week. And that's it, you know. Yeah. Ever since then, it's just been like, I'll take a Friday here. I'll stretch out Labor Day weekend, or like Dragon Con, you know. But that's, you know.
But now you're getting paid to go places and see things that you. But you still get to experience the new place and the food and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's nice. I try to take advantage of that, you know. There was this pot pie restaurant that we went to that was really good called Pop Pie Company, and they had. I was a little disappointed because, like, in my mind, a pot pie is like a little crust, and inside that is like
a meat pie,
but with stuff in it. Right, with like corn and peas and like fixins, all the fixins,
and some goop. There has to be goop.
Yeah, of course. Pie. So I was like, "Fuck, man!" They had all these different like kinds of pot pies, and it's like this fucking pork, green chili, like pot pie looks amazing. You know, there are more ingredients than that, but like those are the big ones. So it's like pork and green pepper. Yeah, let's do this. And then I get it, and it's like just pork. And it's like, I thought there was supposed to be stuff in here. They just marinate it and that stuff. But I wanted those. I wanted the fixins, you know? So it was still good. And then they had like an ice cream shop that was next to that called Stella Jeans. And they had like s'mores ice cream where they like put charcoal in it to make it taste more like a...
Like you cooked it over a campfire?
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. It was awesome. It was good.
Sweet.
I'd love to go back sometime and just eat some more stuff, because I definitely I didn't go to Shake Shack, which I wanted to go to. Nikki hasn't been to In-N-Out, so it's like, oh, we're going to In-N-Out because I want that again. And those are two that just didn't happen. Yeah, there were some fancy fucking Mexican restaurants that I found that we didn't go to because it's like,
we don't have the appropriate clothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. To go to a Mexican restaurant, which is like, that is not how it is here. You know, we don't have a fancy.
They'll throw you out if you're dressed too nice at
shorts.
Our places.
That's fine. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to put socks on with those sandals, sir.
So it was. Yeah, it was cool.
Awesome.
I played some River City Girls on the Steam Deck on the way back on the flight. Right. Battery held out.
Nice.
For the flight, so that was nice.
Oh, I need $800, by the way. Just to anyone that wants to,
for whatever reason,
throw me random $800. I will take that money. Not to the Patreon, to me,
to Ian.
Yeah.
What's your routing number for your checking account?
Let me give you that now. Let me go ahead and give you my social security number while I'm at it, just in case you have any problems.
Yeah. Mother's maiden name and the hospital in which you were born.
Favorite pet.
No, right. I got it all right here. I'm going to read that now.
I hadn't played River City. Nikki and I were playing it a while back, and we never finished it. So it was one of those where it's like, you know, it was on my wish list because, you know, like Steam has that remote play option where it's like, oh well, potentially I could play this with somebody else online, because like the real shortcoming of River City Girls is that it's like local co-op only.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll buy it again because it's on sale, and I'm looking for stuff to play on the Steam Deck. So, and I never finished this, so it's like a 6-hour game, so it's not like crazy or anything. But part of the Kunio-kun series, and I mean, I love it. I'm excited for the sequel, which I think does have online play built in, so that's good because the first one definitely needs that. Yeah, I watched Chainsaw Man. The first 2 episodes of Chainsaw Man are out, and holy shit, that is a good anime. That is a great anime. That is like don't sleep on that, because that is like, wow, that is a great.
Where is it right now?
We're watching it on Crunchyroll.
I do not have Crunchyroll anymore. I let that go.
Well, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Okay.
We'll figure something out so you can watch it if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I do.
It's they're only, as of this recording, there are only 2 episodes out. By the time this publishes in the future, there will be 3 episodes. But I didn't read the manga or anything, so I don't really know what to expect. I don't know how it how it holds up to the manga, but like I was really surprised by the quality of animation in the show, because it's like, I guess I also watch a lot of trash anime, so it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see something really good, it's like,
whoa,
wow,
what am I doing with my life?
right? But it felt very much like when I was talking about Edge Runners, and it's one of those where it's like shit surprises you. I've definitely been surprised by like several things in this already, and I'm really enjoying it. It's dark. It is fucking dark anime. It's like it's almost it's like a superhero show, but it is like very dark. So I'm curious to see where it goes.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's it for me. Tyler, what you been up to?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nerfing.
You guys want to do a draft?
Sure.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes no news is good news, right?
Yeah, just work. That's about it.
I was exposed to COVID, as it does happen on every one of these trips, it seems, and probably will. So just heads up to the co-hosts here. That test came back negative for me, though, today.
Yay.
So thank you,
good.
Final Fantasy VII pharmacist, who gave me my second booster. Probably saved my week.
Final Fantasist?
My final
Final pharmacist.
My alchemist.
Yeah, there you go.
My local
Your
alchemist.
Your master alchemist. Well, do we want to do... We talked about a soda draft. There's also soda, cookies, fruit.
All sound good. I feel like one of those is going to be really weak for me, but still might be entertaining. Cookies might be weak for me. How do you guys feel about...
We can do soda.
Let's do soda.
Soda? All right. I'm good with soda.
Pop.
Oh,
If you
regional. Regional differences.
Not my region.
Is that what the draft is?
I had a friend from Michigan who
Yeah.
she always called it pop.
In Iowa, we called it pop.
Yeah.
I had to adopt that. It was weird. Going from Coke.
Coke to
What kind of
pop
Coke?
to
Sprite?
soda.
Right, exactly. Soda?
So Dave 1, Ian 2, me 3.
Sure.
Dave,
All right, I'm first.
you were
You're
first.
first.
I mean, I gotta go Coke. I got Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Classic. They invented Santa Claus. Did you know that? They didn't, but they might as well have.
And Norman Rockwell.
And
And polar bears.
Yeah.
Polar bears.
So Coke Classic.
Coca-Cola Classic.
Don't want to put new Coke.
You know what?
I liked new Coke. Fine.
I remember trying it, and I remember being like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel strongly one way or the
I
other.
don't think it was the choice of a new generation or anything like that,
No, that would be Pepsi.
which is my first pick.
And you claim Pepsi.
Yep.
Then I will claim Diet Coke.
Not Diet Right.
Now is this I gotta
Curse you, Pam Holland.
I have to ask this question because I don't know. I can't drink the sugar-free stuff because of my allergies. But is Diet Coke and Coke Zero Sugar the same thing?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So you prefer Diet Coke?
Coke Zero and Coke Zero Sugar are like David Pumpkins and his skeletons. They're each their own thing. They work together, but they're each their own thing.
That's
Okay.
very true.
Okay.
I feel like Diet Coke I can taste the artificial sweetener more in Diet Coke, but
I prefer a Coke Zero over a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
But I know like the rest of my family completely disagrees.
and I think I don't know this, but so this is just some shit I've heard. I think it all started with marketing, where it's like originally it was like, oh, we're gonna market Diet Coke to women, and we're gonna market Coke Zero to men.
Yep.
And then I don't know if that's still the case. I can't tell you the last time I've seen a commercial for Diet Coke at all. Coke Zero every now and then at the movies, where they're like trying to sell you concessions, and there's like a guy in the line. It's like popcorn and Coke Zero sugar, please.
Yeah. They still advertise for it.
Do they?
On TV. Yeah.
Is it like the construction? Is it like the
No, it's
construction?
not that good. It's not that good. Those were great commercials. I fucking loved the marketing on that shit. And it worked.
Yeah, of course it did. They were memorable.
Well, it's funny because, Diet Coke, if I'm not mistaken, originally when it came out, we were around when Diet Coke came out. It was a huge deal. It was flavored with NutraSweet. I don't know if you remember the sweetener known as NutraSweet.
I do. I didn't realize it wasn't around still.
Yeah. It's not around.
Okay.
No, they don't use it anymore. Because
Anal leakage.
Turned out, well, it's more like cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, bad
Leaking out
things.
your ass.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cancer leakage. Whenever it started happening, Diet Coke was a big deal.
Not going wood there.
Yeah, no shit. My mom started buying Diet Coke. And because we always had some Cokes around, we always had a 12-pack of Coke in the thing to drink. And then it was like after maybe about a year of us all drinking the Diet Coke, we started taking note of the migraine headaches that my mother and I were getting.
Mm-hmm.
And especially I wasn't drinking a lot of it because I didn't care for the taste. But if it was all there was, I was drinking
Just
some.
for the taste of it.
Just for the taste of it.
Yeah.
And but my mom was drinking it on the regular and getting really bad headaches. So we found out at that point that I'm allergic to we are both, I am allergic to artificial sweetener. I can't have any of it. It just gives me this wicked bad migraine, and I'm like sick to my stomach, and it's awful. So I've accidentally been served Diet Coke at restaurants before and take a big gulp of it, and I'm immediately like paranoid. I'm going to get sick off of it. And now, more recently, the newer diet sodas like the Coke Zeros and the Pepsi Zero Sugars and all that, I've tasted them, and they're not as blatantly diet to me.
They don't have that metal tang.
Whatever that is,
Yeah.
that sickening sweetness, that not quite sweet. I can tell that I'm being fooled into this supposedly being sweet, but it still makes me sick. So I'm either drinking water or if I'm drinking a soda, it's going to have sugar in it. And it sucks because I would like to just be able to drink diet soda like everyone else, but it's just not in the cards.
It's probably better for you,
In the long run, I'm either going to be fat or have cancer, and from the chemicals that I ingested in the 80s, So whatever. But yeah, I just prefer to stick with water anyway. I like to have a soda with a meal from time to time. Like I'll have it with lunch.
Oh man, drinking water for me is so hard.
Yeah,
it's a chore. I have to like force myself to.
Well, and that's why I was saying in the previous episode I switched to tea instead of I love water. I don't have a problem with it. With a meal, I like to have a drink of some sort, like a soda.
Sure.
Well, see, I'm the opposite. I want water with my food, so I taste all the food
better.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I'm drinking just a beverage, I want it flavored.
Yeah,
I
I
don't want
get
to just be
that.
drinking just water.
For me, it's I do like to have a Coke, a cola, with my meal, but I will do that once in a day, unless I go out to eat that night and I want a Coke, I'll get one. But if I'm eating at home for both lunch and dinner, I'll have a Coke at lunch and then tea for dinner. But
I would drink them all the time, but I normally do drink them with a meal because it's easy to get one with a meal. If I don't keep them stocked in the house and it's just like, water, it's fine. But like, if we're going to like just hamburgers or something, or like, man, even worse, like Zaxby's where they've got like a Coke freestyle machine.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, it's party time. Let's try all these motherfuckers.
Make me a graveyard.
Yeah.
I'm going to frustrate the shit out of this staff.
Yep.
I'm draining all these micro boxes crammed in this little machine.
That's all right. They got enough flies in here. They can deal with it.
Have we ever clarified, what did you call it when you were a kid? A graveyard or a suicide? When you would mix all the sodas together.
I called
from
them
the
a
fountain.
graveyard.
We called them suicide.
It was graveyard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just had a really dark player on our T-ball team.
Yeah.
Because that's where I first remember hearing it. Was it T-ball?
It's usually a team event.
Yeah.
It was baseball for me because they had a fountain at the ballpark, and we, go make go make you a graveyard. I'm like, fuck! I just ruined my one shot at having soda by mixing all these things together in this nastiness.
I had a friend in high school who would drink Diet Coke by the 2-liter. Like he'd carry the 2-liter around. Yeah.
Jeez.
He's doing really good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't health-wise, I don't know.
I hope he's just switched that out.
Professionally, doing very well.
Being one of those guys that has the big gallon jug of water and wants to make sure everybody knows that they drink a lot of water.
Has the words written on it of what levels you're at throughout the day. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Because like I know somebody I work with, she did it for like a minute and then she stopped, but she had like the big gallon jug that has like a line just getting started and another one like
I see.
Ready, raring to go all the way down to the bottom.
Like a motivational water bottle.
Yeah.
Hey, on one hand, I really get that because like as somebody who like really like drinking water is a fucking chore. Like there's a part of me that's like, I know how that shit is where it's like, fuck, how do I gotta motivate myself to do this thing I don't want to do. I guess buy a cute water bottle. Yeah, that'll do it.
One of the levels is my kidneys are begging me to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Back up to you.
Yep, you're up. What's your second pick, Dave?
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. That is my go-to.
You're gonna have a hard hitting list today. I have it's like playing fantasy football type of thing. You don't want to just pick the players you like.
Sure.
You want to pick what wins.
Strategize a little bit.
But when we do these drafts, I pick shit I like and hope.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of a discussion today on the Discord about cereal from last week.
And I think that's a perfectly cromulent way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's no prize for this.
No.
Other than the beautiful conversations.
In this case, I'm going to pick what I pick, and I find that a lot of my picks get support. I've been supported on my Raisin Bran stance.
Yeah.
Heavily on the Discord today.
Raisin Bran's great.
It's great shit. So anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Tyler. You're up, my man.
No, you're up. I'm 3.
I thought we were going clockwise.
Well,
Is it my turn? I guess I did.
You went second last time.
I did jump line, so we'll just go that way.
We're good.
Points will be deducted at the end of this draft.
My second pick is good old Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, it's strong.
We talked about this in detail. My Dr. Pepper problem. I put it down. My DPP.
Mm-hmm.
I put the Dr. Pepper down for a while. So we're good there. But yep, Dr. Pepper.
Well, then I will go with Diet Dr. Pepper.
All right.
Another solid choice. I do very much like the taste of Diet Dr. Pepper. I wish I could drink it.
There's also, have you had Dr. Pepper Zero?
That's also,
I've heard of it.
I don't know that I can. That one, I'm not sure I could tell you which is which.
Those are very, very close. Yeah, that's why.
Like way different
the same
than
for me.
Coke Zero and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Like those, I could definitely tell you the difference, unless you start introducing like copious amounts of ice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow, I thought that I wasn't going to get this one. I'm going to go Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Not like one of my favorites, honestly, but I do feel like Mountain Dew is a crowd pleaser.
It is a crowd pleaser. I know a lot of people who are super into Mountain Dew. All its different flavors and variations.
Do the Dew.
Yeah, do the Dew.
Since I imagine I have to just pick one, I can't,
Right, you're not covering all flavors.
I'm going
of
classic Mountain Dew.
I read a neat little article about Mountain Dew not long ago and how it started, but I don't have enough of it retained in my memory to regurgitate that, so I'm going to avoid doing that. But for my third pick, along the same vein, I'm going with the lesser well-known Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow. I used to have a real problem with that one. Back in my much younger days, I liked that too much. I drank a 12-pack of that every single day.
Damn.
Many years.
Wow.
I'm surprised I did not lose a kidney or two in that process. But I do love me some Mellow Yellow. I like the flavor of it. It's just, to me, it's more of what I wished Mountain Dew tastes like.
Okay. I definitely couldn't tell the difference between those two.
Really?
Yeah, because, dude, I haven't had...
It's been so long since I've had Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, I haven't had a Mellow Yellow.
Since Brandon and I were playing Tekken 3.
Yeah,
last time I probably had a Mellow
it's
Yellow.
probably been that long for me too.
I feel like it's difficult to come by now. They
don't
still
see it very
make
often.
it, but it's hard. I don't think
There's so many Mountain Dew flavors that
Right.
crowd the
it
shelves.
crushed its competition. I think you can probably still get it at gas stations at single serve bottle type things, but I never see it in like the store in 12 packs or anything like that. I don't even know. I'm not even going to say I'm 100% sure they still make it. Maybe I'll go check at Walgreens where I found the Chunkies and see if they have any Mellow Yellow. Try have me a
There
Mellow
you go.
Yellow.
I'll go for my third choice, but I feel is still a very strong choice, but also my favorite soda growing up,
Okay.
which is Cherry Coke.
Cherry Coke, that is a good one.
Love Cherry Coke.
Cherry
oh
Coke's
my
a good
God.
one.
I remember when that came out too, like as a canned beverage, not just you couldn't,
Right.
You know, obviously you'd go to the
soda jerk.
soda jerk,
Yeah.
and get the cherry Coke. But when they started canning it, I remember when that came out, it was a huge fucking hit. Huge.
Oh, my
hit
parents
in the
hated
80s.
it.
Yeah,
Hated it. Like it tastes like medicine. What? They hated it.
I remember the can.
It only made me love it more. Yeah, the can was a great design.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great
that can was very of its time in like a very good way. Like
Yeah.
it's weird because I feel like that can is like of its time, but also timeless in a certain way.
For sure. You're up.
That's Dave.
You're up.
Dave's up.
This is tough. I'm gonna go. I don't think this is gonna be a crowd pleaser, but this is.
Beverly.
Oh man, do I love a Beverly?
Verner's.
I'm gonna go with Orange Crush.
It's a good one. It's a very good one.
Got my spine.
That's right.
Got my Orange Crush. That is good. That is a great soda. Tanya still asks me to pick her up an Orange Crush from the store
Man.
from time to time.
And the
ice cold in a glass bottle, it is hard to beat Orange Crush.
diet, unless you start like taking into account like Mexican sodas, because then it's like
With the real sugar.
yeah, because those beat ass.
They
like,
do.
Yeah,
They really,
the
really do.
the Mountain Dew they make with pure sugar, where it's got the hillbilly on it.
Yes.
Like that's shit.
yeah. But like Orange Crush, and they make a diet Orange Crush that I drink, and I like that a lot. The problem I have with it though is like that is one that I don't typically want to drink with a meal. Like that's a
treat.
This is a special treat soda that I drink by itself because I don't want to have pizza and Orange Crush.
No, because it
Yeah.
does dominate. It does
Yeah,
dominate
absolutely.
every flavor. And I can't usually make it through an entire bottle of Orange Crush. I'll usually get about halfway through. And if it's Orange Crush has to be ice cold for
Sure.
me to really
I get that.
fully carbonated for me to really like it. Beyond that, I get kind of tired of it really quickly. So I usually get about half. That's why I like the glass bottle, because it's very narrow. There's not just a whole lot to it. It's like the perfect portion.
Sure.
So yeah, great. My turn.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist.
Damn, dog.
Sierra Mist.
It is hard to find Sierra Mist around here.
That's ginger ale?
No, it's
okay.
it's Pepsi's Sprite.
Oh, okay. Then what's 7-Up?
7-Up is
It's
Dr.
its
Pepper
own
Sprite.
thing.
7-Up and Dr. Pepper are made by the same, or made
Oh,
by
okay.
Dr. Pepper.
But they're owned by Pepsi, right?
No,
now?
they're not.
Oh, they're not.
They're not. They used to be. I think 7-Up used to be a Pepsi thing, but it's not anymore, or it never was, and I just tricked myself into thinking that somehow. But 7-Up is on its own. It's not a Pepsi product.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's probably a history there. I want to say that Pepsi owned 7-Up at one point, and then I think Dr. Pepper bought them.
There was a revolution.
And then I think that's when Pepsi came up with Sierra Mist,
Okay.
which is, to me, it's superior to Sprite.
Interesting.
Simply because it is a little more carbonated and it doesn't have as lemon limey a flavor to it. It's just more it's more refreshing to me. And it's very difficult to find around here. I can't ever find it. They also have a variation of that comes out around Christmas, which is cranberry.
Oh fuck! I
Sierra
love the
Mist.
cranberry 7-Up and the cranberry Sprite, the cranberry Sierra Mist. All fucking great.
They are awesome.
Yes, they are hard to find, but
very hard to find.
man.
But if you can, try that
They're
shit.
so good.
One of them does a cherry one that I really like. I think it's 7-Up.
Cherry 7-Up.
Cherry 7-Up.
Yes,
That's very good.
That is also
I like
very good soda. But pound for pound, as far as your refreshing lemon lime sodas go, Sierra Mist is my jam.
Well, I'm gonna reach over and grab this Tadpog Lifeline and pull it and claim Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Baja Blast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Now, that's a crowd pleaser right there.
Yep.
It will be, yeah.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Back to you, Dave.
It's a hard choice.
It's your dark horse, number 5.
It's a hard choice. But I'm going to go with Jones Cream Soda. Jones Cream Soda.
Good one.
Jones is famous for they're the Birdie Bots every flavor beans of soda.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have your turkey and dressing
Yeah.
soda from Jones. Yeah.
The absolute monument to American wastefulness.
Yes.
No one needs that shit. But it's
No.
it's neat.
It's neat.
but it's not necessary.
I do like I like the regular sodas though, and I like their orange soda. I went cream soda with them because all of their sodas, I believe, are cane sugar.
I think you're right.
So and cream soda is one of those where it's like
because they're green apples, the one I
Green
always
apple's
get.
real
green apple.
good.
What's the blue one? I got that one a lot too.
I don't know.
Can't remember.
Is it like a blue raspberry type of thing?
Maybe it's been so long since I've had a Jones.
Yeah.
Probably since I've got when they came out with those 4th edition D&D ones. It's probably the last time I had one.
Wow, yeah, that's been a minute.
Yep.
But man, when I see like a diet cream soda, that's one of those where it's like, there's no point in that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there is no point. I
Yeah.
get diet soda to an extent. It's like, I get that. But a diet cream soda,
Yeah, if you're having cream soda, you better have cream soda.
Right,
You're not in
yeah.
it for the, I don't know, not the flavor. You're in for the flavor, but I feel like that robs the
it's got to be. That's got to be a robust beverage.
Yeah.
It has to be by its very nature. That's
Agreed.
like low fat pork rinds.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just do it. Don't eat pork rinds
Low
at all.
fat.
Right.
My turn? This is tough because I like soda. I like them all. I like a lot of things soda related. I'm probably going to blow my list here.
Oh, I doubt it.
But I've got to go back once again to the early 90s. And
Tab?
To something. You used to be able to drink Tab. Tab was good.
Tapping into the Scott Pilgrim game.
What?
What? Tapping into the Scott Pilgrim game with your
yeah.
pick for the early 90s?
Yes. Jolt. It's on my
Jolt
list of
Cola.
all-time favorite sodas. I've think
never
they
had a
still
Jolt
make
Cola.
it. It's they marketed it as twice the sugar, twice the
Right,
caffeine.
right.
I don't know if that was true, but me and my buddy used to love it. We used to buy it all the time. The marketing worked, but it was a classic favorite soda of mine, and I'm going to put that on my list as my 5th and final pick.
There we go. I don't think I've ever had it. I always wanted to have it, but I've never
Same.
seen it to have it.
And then once I could have it, I always heard, oh, they changed the formula. So
Well,
they
I
could
think
keep
that
it on the
I
shelf.
don't think it's the same as it was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready for that to be different. So I'm just going to retain my memory and never have it again.
Yeah.
But it's on this list, and now it's immortalized. So
Well, if Cherry Coke was my favorite soda growing up, then I'm going to go with my second favorite, which I still feel is better than any other soda in its type, is Barks Root Beer.
I was curious if a root beer was going to show up.
Gotta love Barks. A&W, okay, whatever. But Barks,
Mug, right out.
now right out. Barks has bite.
IBC
It's better.
IBC was my brand.
I think
IBC is
IBC is
good.
better than A&W, a mug.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of honorable mentions.
yeah.
I'm just going
Same.
to throw in.
Sure.
Dave, it's your turn. You want some honor? Do your honorable mentions.
I love a vanilla Coke, but I do not like a canned vanilla Coke. So that's why I didn't include it. For me, like a vanilla Coke fountain is very good. Like if you get it like Steak and Shake or something like that, it's very, very good.
That's one I cannot have with a meal. Like that has to be by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I've just trained my like vanilla. When I have a vanilla Coke, like I think of Steak and Shake because like that's just where I could get it. You know what I mean? Like until like I guess the freestyle machine started showing up and stuff. But I mean, for a while there, it's like if I wanted a vanilla Coke, I needed to go to Steak and Shake to get it. So now it's like it's kind of linked in my mind with diner food.
Yeah. Okay. There's a kid at work who that is his absolute like thing. So during the pandemic when it was super hard to find, like he was very upset all the time.
Yeah.
So once I happened to find some at like a random ass CVS, I bought him a 12-pack and brought it to him, and he was very thankful because that is absolutely his thing.
I don't like the bottled ones or the canned ones. Yeah, I just don't think it's.
Oh, totally. I get that. 100%.
There's some I don't know enough about it to tell you what it is, but it doesn't taste like a vanilla Coke from, a fountain.
Yeah.
Any more honorable mentions?
Surge, of course.
Yep. That's on my list as well.
Surge.
Surge.
Oh, Surge.
What is this surge? It's Surge.
Surge from Crochet.
Little Beverly Hills Cop there for you.
And those are the only real honorable mentions. That Soda Stream, I don't know. People seem to like that. I've never had it.
It's so expensive.
I know.
I've thought about it, but man, it's so expensive.
I thought about it too, but it's like, no, it's not going to do that. You got to like install hardware and stuff. No.
I have 4 honorable mentions in no particular order.
Okay.
Sam's Choice Cola is awesome.
Really?
Sam's Choice Cola is really fucking good.
Prove it.
I hear Harris Teeter is as well. When Matt
Harris Teeter?
Harris
I don't know
Teeter.
What is Harris Teeter?
It's a grocery store. It's
okay.
its own brand. I remember Matt Pat did a big, and I've had it. I had it over in DC. It is good. Harris Teeter brand diet soda. He does like a big comparison of all the diets. And what do you think is the best? That beats Diet Coke for him, which blew his mind. But
Well, I bought some Sam's Cola on a goof just because I was tired of spending almost $7 for a 12-pack of Coke.
Yeah.
Sam's Choice Cola was $3.85 for 12, and so I bought them. I was like, fuck it. I'll try it. If it's terrible, I've lost nothing except $3.85. I took a drink. I was like, holy shit, this is actually good. It tastes like Coke. And I gave it the test. I gave some to horror priestess Tanya. I said, try this. She's like, no, I hate Sam's Choice Cola. I'm like, no, this is different. It's not what it used to be. And she tasted it. She's like, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good. So she likes it. It must be pretty close.
It's the taste of a new generation.
Wait a minute. The taste, not the choice. It's the taste of a new generation.
And it's not our generation. It's another one.
It's the last choice of a new generation.
It has a taste, damn it.
It's affordable, all right?
It has a taste.
My second honorable mention is Dr. Thunder. I mentioned this before. When I was on my Dr. Pepper kick recently, switched to Dr. Thunder for the same reason that I did the Coke thing, and it's very good.
It's a big yuck for me,
there.
but mainly it's because that was what we had in the house when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And it was like, and we always had it in 2 liters. And like,
see, I don't do 2 liters anyway.
no one should. No one should, unless you're like, I'm going to drink all of this soda today.
Yeah,
Kids at a party. Kids having a slumber party, 2 liters.
2 liters.
Other than that,
nope.
By tomorrow, it'll be flat.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
And I had to stop buying them because, I don't know, none of my children know how to screw the cap back on a 2-liter.
Sure.
Like I will find it loosely sat on the top. It's like, what? You're there. You just had to do this.
Twist.
All you get, and they can't do this. It's just, it's harder to just gracefully set it on the top and walk away than to twist it and leave it
a little bit.
Yeah. So it's secure.
My next honorable mention is Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Canada Dry. Think about it.
And think about it. It's an old favorite. My mom used to mix it with OJ when I was sick.
Wow.
To make me feel better.
Huh.
So that was her remedy for upset tummies was orange juice and Canada Dry.
Interesting. Is that tasty?
It is very tasty. I recommend
I'll have to try.
it. It's like
we'll
a
have to try
virgin.
that.
We'll call it a virgin screwdriver.
Okay.
Canada Dry ginger ale with I think she mixed it in equal parts, but I think you should just mix to taste. And then my final choice for honorable mention was good old-fashioned sparkling water. I love it.
Oof.
I was wondering. I almost said like seltzer or something.
Yeah, I like sparkling water, plain sparkling water. I know I'm in the minority here, but I do like it.
I don't know.
It gives me that carbonation, guilt-free carbonation.
Sure.
So,
Well, I've just because I've seen it on TikTok so much that a lot of recovering alcoholics drink the shit out of sparkling water because it has the same sort of burn that you might get from alcohol. Like that's why I watched a big thing about a guy who's talking about like all my friends from AA, all of us hanging, we drink LaCroix like it's going out of business. My wife is the only normie among us. Can't fucking stand it.
Yeah.
But all of us recovering addicts, fucking
I get that.
carbonated water.
Do you remember being a kid and having soda and like how different it was? Like you talking about the burn of like seltzer water, sparkling water, like just reminded me of like I remember like drinking it when I was a kid and like actually feeling that carbonation like hit my sinuses.
Yes.
And now it's just like it's just burned out nerve receptors, you know?
I might get a good burp. I might get a good burp off of it if I drink it fast.
God, but I remember that feeling of it like it's coming through my nose, where it's like you get like wasabi
Trying to
or
chug
something.
it and be like, ah.
Yeah.
We've experienced that recently, when Cohen was 3 or 4 years old. We gave him his first drink of soda, and he did not like it. He didn't like
it
was
weird.
so jarringly different than
Kenna
anything.
and Jack hate it.
Yeah, he will drink now. He will drink Sprite, but mostly he just drinks water. So
Henry wants soda, but it's because he doesn't normally get it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's he likes it kind of thing. I mean, I guess he does, but it's more of like I have the opportunity to have soda. I better take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't leave soda on the table. If it's offered to take it.
Yeah. I mean, Kenna's just like apple juice. You can keep your Pepsi. Give me apple juice.
yeah,
Man, that were also like talking about like drinking soda for like the first time. Like seemed really weird, but like I remember experiencing wind as a young child and like how like the first time like a big gust of wind like kind of just takes your breath away. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's also one of those
exactly
things.
what you mean. It's those experiences that we now just sort of take for granted.
Yeah, or it just doesn't really seem to happen.
It just doesn't feel. It's just not there. Yeah,
I remember what made me think about it was thinking about the soda and like I remember taking Henry out for the first he was like 1 or younger, taking him out and there was this big gust of wind and like just the look on his face and it's like I know what you're going through. The breath in your body just fucking left. Like it just the wind just like you can't breathe, can you? It'll be okay.
Magic is so powerful.
You're right.
Well, my honorable mentions are a weird mix of college and adulthood. So like I almost pulled the neck beard incel lifeline for Mountain Dew Code Red because that was big during the early days of D&D in college, where I drank a shit ton of Code Red. And then
Is Code Red still around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still going. What
Code Red and Livewire or what?
LimeWire, you mean?
LimeWire, yeah.
Is
You mean Napster?
Code Red, what flavor is that?
Cherry.
Cherry. Okay.
And then after Code Red, what I was into in D&D? Well, balls.
Yeah.
So much. Drink a lot of balls.
Yeah. Guarana.
And then, of course, Surge. I had Surge as well. And then my adult one that I love now is Fresca.
Fresca.
Okay.
I abhorred it growing up. Love it now.
Okay.
What is Fresca?
It's grapefruit.
Grapefruit soda. Yep.
Grapefruit soda.
Sugar-free grapefruit soda.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't dig on grapefruit that much.
Yep.
Fresca is one of those. You either like it or you hate it.
Yeah.
And I definitely do not like it. My grandmother always had Fresca. That was the only thing she had.
Yep.
And when I'd go visit her, it was Fresca or water, and I tried Fresca.
Right.
Every
This time it'll stick.
Every time I'd go, and she'd be like, "Now you didn't like that last time." No, I like it. And I had one of those grandmothers that was like, "You're not gonna waste that.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna. If I open this can, you're gonna drink.
This is
every
precious
bit.
to me.
You're drinking.
You're draining a resource of mine.
Yes.
I buy these because no one else likes them. These are mine.
They're always
you don't
there.
understand.
You got it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. God rest her soul. She was a wonderful woman. But when it came to things like that, my poor mother, she was ruthless about it. There is nothing going to waste.
Yeah.
If you don't think you're going to eat it or drink it all, don't take it.
Yeah.
You're not getting up from this table until you she was hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Fortunately, I didn't grow up that way because I don't know. I feel like a lot of our parents did. Like I feel like
definitely.
a lot of our parents.
My mom's parents, who I'm referring to, were my grandfather was in the Air Force, and they were in World War II, and there was
Gotcha.
rationing and
Sure.
food tickets and things, so they learned at a young age to be frugal and
Yep.
don't waste, and that carried on into there. I didn't see her as much because they lived a few hours away. But when I was there, and she's great. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
She wasn't like a Nazi or anything, but she was.
Oh yeah,
really,
Fanta. We didn't.
Fanta orange is really good, though.
It's good.
We didn't bring up Fanta
Volkswagens and Fanta.
and NASA.
Yep.
That's true. But yeah,
Project Paperclip.
you got her number. She was all about it. But they did. They grew up different.
Sure. Totally.
Well, you guys want to take a break before we get on? Hit some gameage.
Yeah, I've got some words. I've
Good.
got words to say about
All right.
the Wizard of Oz. I have a lot of things to talk about with Wizard of Oz.
Good.
The movie and the game.
Great.
So I would imagine there's probably, if I had to guess,
Yeah.
I'd say sometime in the next 10 to 15 seconds, some music is going to play. And then we'll be back to talk about The Wizard of Oz for the
Okay.
Super Nintendo.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah. Section 2, the game talk.
The game talk.
Game talk.
Game gabbing with Dollar Dave and Ian.
Game
I don't know.
gabbing.
I don't know, Rick. Oh,
And we just
some
became
people
a
will get
morning
that.
show.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. Let's do this for the whole segment. We'll just repeat everything Tyler said.
We'll be Tyler's Ed McMahon. The
Yeah.
rest of the show.
I don't know if one show could contain two Ed McMahons.
You are correct, sir.
Maybe an Ed McMahon and an Andy Richter.
Okay.
Well, I've got mostly game talk down. Did you want to talk about the movie?
A little. I just wanted to bring up
There's a movie?
there is a movie.
I thought this was a video game.
It was a video game
Really-
first.
They made it after the video game was such a hit.
Yeah.
This game was a hit?
Oh yeah. Everyone loves this so much they made the movie out
So
of
they
it.
made the
Back
movie.
in its day, this game was a hit. In 1993, it was well reviewed and very popular.
I've read that as well, although I have a few kind of sticking points with that. Because it's like, I mean,
it was marketed.
I
well.
think whoever wrote that Wikipedia article definitely wanted to I don't know if maybe they got their research from like a YouTube video where a guy was like, listen, this was really popular back in the,
yeah.
Because to me, it's like when I actually looked at the reviews, I was like, yeah, they're not bad reviews.
It was
but they're also not like, this is like cancel Super Mario World 2, folks. We found it.
So I have, going right into this, I have mixed feelings about this game. I didn't hate it as much as I was led to believe I would, but I also found a lot of things about it that didn't work, and obviously there's a lot we'll get to that.
I felt like that until I got to a certain level.
I know the one you're talking about. I think we'll see if it's the right one.
I don't think I made it that far.
Yeah.
Because this game is difficult.
It is difficult. But back when I was a kid, every year CBS would air The Wizard of Oz once a year as like a special movie event. And that was a huge day for me. It was the only time I can truly remember me and my mom and my dad sitting down in front of the TV to watch something together. That's one of the few times that we ever made that time to watch. We watched it every year. And it's very, very fond memory for me. I love this movie. I've always loved it. We went and saw Wicked on Broadway. I mentioned that before. Wicked is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, God.
It's unbelievable how good
that book
was.
is amazing.
I'm going to read the book. We went and saw the play when we were in New York.
The rest of the series is awful, but Wicked is great.
I'll probably read Wicked and stop. But we were just blown. I was blown away by that play. Almost as much as I was blown away by the movie as a child. The idea of going from the black and white and then going to the color when they arrive in the land of Oz just got me every time. I just got the chills,
Yeah.
I just always loved this movie. It was very, very dear to my heart. And it brought back a lot of good memories playing this game and thinking about The Wizard of Oz and what that meant to me. So I had a hard time disliking it because I really love The Wizard of Oz, and I know it could be argued that this could ruin it.
That's what I was about to say. Some people feel like the game didn't stick close enough to the source material. And so I could definitely see it going either way, but I think what you're saying is important. Like you love this movie and you're not sure if that's why you were as tolerant with the game as you are, but it says something that you weren't immediately like, well, fuck this, like.
It was enough for me.
Lemon drops. What the fuck?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, and it's
there are lemon drops and there are lemons.
There are lemons that drop on you.
And splashes.
Splash damage.
Apparently, you have rabies and you're afraid of water, and it hurts you when it hits you. I don't know, but
like in Assassin's Creed.
Oh my God, that made me so mad.
Fucking badass. Can't swim. Never learned how to swim. Doesn't even try.
Nope. Just gonna die.
Just like I'm in water. Guess I'll drown.
This is the sum of my life now. A couple of notes, unless you wanted to cover the notes. I'm going to the game now.
Well, I have some notes, but I also have some really fond memories of this movie as well. My grandmother, Miss Lynn, she loved this movie, and I remember seeing it the first time with her over at her house, and I didn't really like it as a kid, but it was one of those where it was like, oh, well, I love her, and she likes this movie, and she seems to be enjoying herself, so it's like, I'll watch this.
I'll deal.
Yeah, and it's not like I thought it was bad or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm 7 years old, and it's like, man, we gotta. Are there cartoons in this later? Can we pick up the pace a little bit? But I remember the flying monkeys were fucking nightmare fuel for me.
There was some scary shit in that movie.
There is.
The trees that throw the apples those scared the shit out of me.
Wrong movie.
The tree rape.
the
Sam Raimi's The Wizard of Oz. I'd watch that in a goddamn fucking heartbeat.
I would too.
In a heartbeat.
I am absolutely.
I'd pay $40 to see that. Like, sir, these tickets are $40 a pop. Well, here's $80 because my wife and I are going to see this.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I also remember too when that movie came out on VHS. It was a huge
deal. It was a big deal.
My parents bought it, of course, because my mother wanted to have it. And I remember we watched it on VHS, and it wasn't the same.
Oh, it changed?
No, for me,
Oh.
the experience wasn't the same.
I was like, they added a extra cantina band or something.
Yeah. There was rape.
The CGI
added the
munchkins
tree
and they're
rape.
riding camels. And
No, it just wasn't the same because when we would watch it before as a family, it was on CBS.
Sure.
So there was commercial breaks. And of course, they would take that time.
They should have put the commercials in.
Well, they knew everyone was watching, so they would advertise the cool new stuff or whatever. It was just it was an event, and you had this 2 hours. You had to be in front of the TV at 8 o'clock because that's when it comes on, and there was no DVR, there was no this, that, and the other.
Sure.
So when we watched it on VHS for the first time, it was like a fucking Monday afternoon or something. It just wasn't the same.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, that totally makes sense.
It was a weird experience, but. This movie's been around since the 20s. It was a groundbreaking deal. And,
was it the 20s?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and it broke several people in the process. But yeah.
It really did. The snow in the snow scene was asbestos.
Oh, boy.
Flakes, they just dumped bags and bags of asbestos flakes onto them because at the time they didn't know that asbestos causes cancer. And also they were doing it for safety reasons because the Scarecrow's costume was so ultra flammable. They had to be careful what they used. So they used asbestos to assure that nothing.
How do you make a scarecrow? Gasoline racks.
So they used it. But yeah, if you ever watched the movie, if you remember the scene where they fall asleep, the snow falls in the poppy field and they fall asleep, that is asbestos they are dumping on them.
I know, wasn't there was something.
That's insane.
Because the original Tin Man was supposed to be Jed Clampett from Beverly Hillbillies.
Okay.
Ernest?
They put him in the silver paint, and he almost died.
I heard about. Wasn't that on a MythBusters or something where they were talking about
MythBusters? I know did the gold paint,
the gold from
because
James
that woman
Bond.
almost died.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's because they didn't breathe.
Right, your
And
skin
you can
needs
suffocate.
to-
He had a severe allergic reaction to it.
Okay.
So they had to recast him.
Oh, okay. I did
Wow.
not know that. So many urban legends and myths surround this movie.
Well, yeah. There's the hanging, Munchkin.
which has been debunked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Hollywood debunked it.
All the uppers
unquote.
and cigarettes that Dorothy was on to make it to stay skinny and make
Right.
it through the filming.
That was not debunked because that was true.
Yep. Fucking
Judy
ruined her.
Garland got fucking ruined in this movie, but it set the stage for, a very successful career for her. She was a huge deal.
Huge.
Huge fucking
deal.
deal. Take any celebrity
So
now.
huge, Liza Minnelli's still a big deal.
Well, take any celebrity now and multiply their relative recognition by 10, and you've got Judy Garland in her heyday. She was.
What if they had
deal.
Twitter then? I'd love to read those tweets, man.
Yeah, no shit. We need to start a Twitter feed of those tweets from back in the 20s.
That's too dark, man. That's too damn. I can't do that. You can't put me in charge of that. I'll read it. I ain't gonna write it though.
Women of Golden Age Hollywood Twitter account. Just horror stories.
Or you could go the other route and be like a totally not gay movie star in the 1920s.
I love women.
Rock Hudson's very
Right.
straight Twitter account.
Surrounded constantly by beautiful women, just the way I like it. I promise.
That's right.
I promise.
I remember watching this movie for the first time.
I'm sorry. quick edit.
Yeah.
1939. Not the
Okay,
20.
that's what I.
1939.
Okay, I thought it was 30s, but I wasn't positive.
No, you're right. It was the 30s.
Well,
Sorry.
it wasn't too long ago where the last cast member died, right?
Is
The
that right?
It was like
think
the
that's right.
child munchkin or whatever,
Yeah.
like the baby, like he was like in his 90s or
Man,
something.
this movie is like one of those where it's like it feels like it should like have like a curse or something. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and then the last one died from like,
like Poltergeist.
yeah, and it's like
all the bad shit
Right.
that happened on
Yeah.
to the people in that movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think no one knows where the original ruby slippers are.
really.
She had like a few.
She
over
brought
the
them back
course
to
of the
Oz.
movie. Yeah.
I don't-
What they were
They
silver
were returned to their
originally.
rightful owners.
They're silver in the original L. Frank Baum book. So I think the original was silver. They didn't like how it looked, so they changed it to red.
It does kind of make sense
Yeah.
because if you're going to do a big color reveal, you don't want an important article of clothing to be like, did they forget to make that color?
Because that looks the same to me. It's a little brighter, I guess. I don't know.
It's like the villains in Rainbow Bright. Yeah.
I've read that L. Frank Baum, when he wrote The Wizard of Oz, had intended on just that being it. But with the popularity of the book and how masterful it was and all this, at its first time, he continued to write the stories, and the lore goes on and on and on. And I think some of the stuff, getting to the game part, I think some of the stuff they use in the game may have been from some of the stuff you don't know
Return to
about
Oz.
because it came from some of the other stuff that he wrote.
I wish I could speak to that more, but like I haven't read any of the books. Have you guys read any of the books?
I haven't read them, and I was trying to do some research on that today
Yeah.
to see if that was right, and I couldn't find anything. It doesn't mean it's not right.
Sure.
It just means I couldn't find anything.
Sure. And I've also
They
read,
could have just made it up. They probably did, but
who knows? I mean, but I've also read that certain things in the game were taken from the 1991
The Return to Oz.
animated
yeah.
series.
It was called Return to Oz.
It was called Return to Oz.
Return to Oz is its own movie with like the TikTok man and shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's like a much darker, like more book accurate.
I never
spin.
saw
It's-
that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that was like on NBC
Like
or something.
Dorothy's in like an insane asylum because she insists all of it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as she's escaping, she's able to go back.
And then a T-800 bursts through.
pretty much. There's like
Come with me if you want to live. to Oz.
the evil queen who's taken over and deposed the scarecrow who can like switch heads and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I do. Well, the Neverending Story Part 2, I think, stole from that, right?
Oh, probably.
Because that's what you said that, and all of a sudden I got that image in my mind of that face shape, like has like face on swivels. I think it was from Neverending Story 2. I remember watching this with Dark Side of the Moon playing in synchronization,
And it works until
it
about
loops.
2/3 through the movie, and then
Yeah.
it loops, and that sucks because it really does
because it
work.
fucking works when it works. I remember I've got like this is my best memory about this movie, and I know I've said this on the show before, but it's really a good memory for me. So I want to share it again. I remember watching this. I remember hearing about it in high school. Jumping through all the hoops. I already owned Dark Side of the Moon because I really like Pink Floyd, and hearing about this and being like, I'm going to rent The Wizard of Oz. I remember going to Blockbuster, renting The Wizard of Oz. This is when I could drive myself, so this was just like a little Dave adventure by myself kind of deal. Didn't really. And I was just going to make a night of that, it was a school night. I remember that. And like, I'm just going to go out and rent it, come back, synchronize it and watch it. I remember like, this is like the early days of the internet. So I remember reading about like when to sync it up, like on the internet and like all that. And, I got it all synced up and had this nice, like, 1970s stereo system with like tower speakers and all that. So I got that going, and it's a small room. It's about the size of like this Holland deck, not the full garage, but this area. And I remember turning it up really loud and watching it. And my sister at that time was like 3 years old, like 3 or 4. And she always wanted it in my room, no matter what, And I remember her coming to the door, and I was like, it's the Wizard of Oz, and like she's captivated by that. And I was like, yeah, come in. And she just kind of like sits there silently and watches it with me as like Dark Side of the Moon is synced up, because like all the volume of the movie was turned down. And I remember my mom coming in to see like what she was doing in there, and then like her getting sucked in, and then like the three of us just sat in there, stone sober,
right,
and like watched. It's amazing. It really.
You don't know your mom was sober.
I can. You're right, but I assume she's. I love my mom, but she's not a fun mom. Like the point of this story is that she did that, and that's like kind of rare. Mm-hmm. My parents have like a bunch like yours. They've loosened up a lot, and like once we were both out of the house,
your
like,
ass is unclenched at a certain age.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, cool, we can just drink now."
Oh yeah. Hey, did we go? No, we're not going to hell. No one came down through thunderbolts at us. All right, let's have a glass of wine.
Yeah, let's drink a little bit.
It is though. It's uncannily,
dude. I need to do it again soon.
Creepy how well that works.
It's awesome.
Again, it sucks that it doesn't. The album stops about 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then when it loops, it doesn't work. It stops working. But that up to that point,
it works.
Nuts.
It fucking works, and it's awesome. And it's like there's so many things like it. It's like intrinsically linked in my mind.
Yeah.
Like when the track "Money" starts and you hear the ching, and it's like simultaneously the movie, the door opens and it goes from black and white to color, and it's like it's just moments like that where it's like holy shit.
Easily one of the most phenomenal coincidences ever. Just that works so well.
It's amazing. It really
the tornado
is.
scene.
I know, with
great
gig in the sky, and it's like, yeah, man.
Fuck, that alone is worth it.
And I remember when Dorothy meets Scarecrow, and it's like he's rolling around like acting a fool, and then the lyric is "the lunatic is on the grass."
Yes.
And it's just like shit like that will stick with me forever.
Yeah.
It's stuck with it's been in my mind for this long, and it's not going anywhere.
No, I would not put it past Roger Waters to have based Dark Side of the Moon on The Wizard of Oz, except that it doesn't go the whole length of the movie.
Sure.
If the album and the movie were perfectly matched up in time, I would say that he did it on purpose.
This is me in my musical ignorance. Would it have been possible to have pressed an album the full length of The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what your max length is on a vinyl album. So that is a good point, because at that point you're looking at a double album, which means
you'd have to switch it, and then your synchronization's going to go all to shit doing that.
And you already have to flip the record to get to side B.
That is true, yeah.
But yeah, I don't believe it was done on purpose, but boy.
And I think the official statement is that it wasn't, right?
Right.
But
it's
just
crazy.
And
it's not one of those things where I'm plugging it in because I'm told that it works and I just want to believe it. It fucking works.
It fucking works.
It's legitimately matches up. And
is that how we know we're in the sacred timeline? Because any other timeline, something would be different. It wouldn't work.
Be off
I don't
like
know,
5
but I love that. I love that. Yeah. Oh man. So anyway, that's my favorite Wizard of Oz memory.
What about you, Tyler? You ever watch the movie when you were a kid? Were you into it at all?
I remember watching it and thinking it was okay. I wasn't really into it until I read Wicked. And then I fucking love the Shadow Wicked. Of course, the Wicked Witch is never named. So that's why the author of Wicked, L. Frank Baum, Elphaba.
Right.
So, because I've read.
I love how Glinda is actually, her name is originally Galinda. That just, stuff like that was great.
Because all of it is so, like, because one, the Wicked is great. It made me appreciate the movie more because I just loved Wicked so much. I still want to see the play. I've never seen it. I'm dying to.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unfucking believable.
Because it made me, I read Kristen Chenoweth's autobiography after that because I just thought it was so good.
I've mentioned this before, I've seen a number of Broadway plays, the big ones. Like I've seen Cats, Phantom of the Opera, and Les Miserables. They were great. Wicked blew them all out of the fucking water. Now I'm sure there's others out there. It's really expensive to go to a Broadway show. It's like stupidly expensive. So we were very lucky to get tickets. My dad got us tickets when we were in New York because it's one of those things. Tanya had never been, and Dad wanted to do something nice and got us tickets to Wicked, which is it. But all of the production values and stuff are amazing in all of these shows, but this one just blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
So good.
So other than that, I didn't have any big ties to the movie. I do want to, after you hearing you guys talk about it, I do want to do the Dark Side of the Moon thing.
Definitely try that. It's really cool.
It is really neat.
But that brings us to this video game.
The game.
The box art.
They had plenty of time to get this right.
Yeah, they had
50 years.
54 years.
Yeah.
To get it right.
I don't want this to be a little more organic. So yeah, box art.
There are some things that I want to go ahead and get out of the way that we usually don't touch on. This is a platformer.
Yes.
It's a platforming video game developed by Manley and Associates. Who
doesn't sound like a law firm at all.
no, yeah. Well, law's not working out so great for us. So what we've decided to do is make
video game development.
For the kids. We've talked about one game that they've done already, and that was King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, which, since we're talking about bad video games, I'm going to go ahead and put this card on the table. That is a worse game than The Wizard of Oz, in my opinion. They also did some games we haven't talked about yet. Super Conflict and a game I've always heard of but never played. Pink Goes to Hollywood, which is the Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther game. Okay.
It was published by Seta in 1993.
We have a number at the end of this. I have suggestions for our next games.
Okay.
There's 4 games from Seta that were advertised in the back of the instruction manual for the Wizard of Oz. So that's possible options. But anyway, go ahead.
What I think is interesting, because we were talking about how the game kind of strays from the movie. And, we're like, well, I wonder if that's because of the books or if that's because of the animated series. I've heard both of those things, but what I can tell you for a fact is that in an issue of GamePro, it's the one that has the Tasmanian devil on the front with a big bone in its mouth. Can't tell you what issue that is right now, but in that magazine, The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo is announced.
I've also got a picture of Taz with a big bone in her.
Oh.
Show notes?
Show notes.
Please?
In that issue, this game with The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo is announced. And it's announced that it's going to be the first of the game. It's going to be the first of a series of games for The Wizard of Oz, or based on The Wizard of Oz. And then it says who is going to be publishing it, that Seta is going to be publishing it, and that if you have any suggestions for them for the game, to mail them, and then they give a physical Las Vegas mailing address for the publisher of the video game. If any of our readers have any suggestions for this game,
okay,
write in.
There's your first fucking problem.
Right? They didn't know what they were doing.
You don't need suggestions. You have a literal fucking movie.
Not beyond
to
that,
base
right?
It on.
But even I will say this: I do. Okay, I can promise you that I do not want to play a direct video game adaptation of The Wizard of Oz. I don't want to. Like, what is that game even?
It could be more creative than
first-person shooter.
If I'm a flying monkey and I'm like capturing people, like I'm working for the Wicked Witch, and then like halfway through I have a turn. Like then it's like, okay, that's interesting, but that's not in the movie. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
SimCity and you're the wizard.
Yeah.
Actually, build Oz, Sim Oz.
But I do feel like there's I haven't read these books, obviously, but there's got to be stuff in there, like
I would imagine.
It felt really fucking weird and desperate that they're like, yo, Game Pro, help us out, do us a solid, and ask your readers for suggestions for our video game.
Manley and Associates is 2 guys.
Yeah, they ain't got shit, man.
They're fucking lawyers. They don't know what they're doing. It's the Michael Scott Paper Company.
People are writing
video
in
games.
shit like, I don't know, man, like a Chester Cheetah, but like with Wizard of Oz.
It always bugged me that she didn't have a wand, man.
Right.
Like, she should have a fucking wand and shoot shit.
So initially the reviews, and I'm doing my magical quote fingers here.
Yeah.
The game was well received because of its color graphics, animation, and backgrounds. Challenging gameplay was praised, imaginative enemies, and some big bad bosses. And it was referred to as the best film-to-video game adaptation ever by the Associated Press.
Yeah.
Their video game.
Right. There's a flag there.
It's like going, there's another review of a game I was looking at earlier. It's from Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not where we're going for our video game.
I swear there's another review from like the Chicago Tribune or something, where it's like a news establishment.
Yeah.
It's not like a specialized video game.
Drudge
journalist or
Report
something.
gave Wizard of Oz.
Then they started trying to curate the reviews towards girls.
Sure.
The fact that the protagonist was female was applauded. Mm-hmm. It's Dorothy, guys. If it's the Wizard of Oz, we assume this is going to be the case. And maybe at that time had Metroid had been out, but did we know at that point that Samus was a
If you
woman?
beat it
Yeah, it
fast
depends on how well you did.
Yeah. Although it was recommended by the LA Times
Oh, sorry. I got my news institutions.
for girl players. This was fucking printed in the LA Times for girl players to practice problem solving and hand-eye coordination in a setting they know and love.
Are we sure it's not just the La Times and we make it think it's the LA Times?
The Nine Lounge
The
time.
99 Lounge Tribune. So the Post Gazette. So they've tried to market it towards girls, which is fine, but that's not the way to do it. Hey, you could solve problems because you're a stupid girl, and this might help you with that. Because it wouldn't, number one.
Well, no, it wouldn't.
This would only confuse.
Get your boss bitch on and play the Wizard of Oz with the Super Nintendo.
There's something to be said about. I remember, I don't know if it was true or not, but I remember in the '90s hearing that critical thinking was like being taught to boys, but it wasn't being taught to girls so much.
I can imagine that was probably not far from the truth.
So I can see how a news outlet could kind of I feel like now reading this now it seems very patronizing.
It seems sexist,
right?
As fuck.
But in the time it was written, it was sexist as fuck, and that was kind of progressive. You know what I mean?
Agreed. The general theme of the time was very sexist. And
sure.
They're trying to say.
I mean, Murphy Brown just came out, and it's got to get the wheels got to turn, right? Dan Quayle hasn't even said shit about it yet. I don't know. I don't know if the timeline works out on that.
So then, of course,
when did Murphy Brown come out?
Speaking of timelines, then over time, a complete reversal has occurred where the game had been reviewed fairly well. Now it has, as we mentioned, made the list of the worst games of all time. The Nintendo Power said that the bar at the top blocking the view of the enemies, in the game, there's a bar at the top that shows you different stats, like how many tickets you have picked up, and it doesn't show you your ammo for your wand, which is
or anything.
How
many golden bricks you've picked up, but
yeah. They said, well, this just breaks the game. Well, they didn't push the R2 button because that makes that go away.
It makes everything
go away, so you're just looking at the game.
Which I think is really neat.
Which is great.
I think that's neat.
That clears your view, and because I liked the graphics of this game.
I did
thought
too.
They were great. But and we're getting to that. I just wanted to cover some of these other bases. Some of the reviews now say the music was criticized for being muddy and unrecognizable,
which is bullshit.
I disagree.
I disagree with that.
Totally disagree.
I think the graphics are like one of the best things about this game.
Well, and the sound and the music too.
The music, I love the music.
The music was great. They used the songs from the fucking movie, which is, I mean, some of it wasn't, but every other song was a song from the music.
I preferred the original stuff.
It was good.
I really did. I thought a lot of it was really good and not very video gamey, especially from that era. Like it felt like they were trying to score a movie. You know, it didn't feel like they were trying to make music for a video game. I love video game music, but like I feel like I feel like that's what they were going for, and I feel like they met that.
And I think it did a great job of setting the tone, the Wizard of Oz tone. One reviewer shit on this game because they don't remember Dorothy having a magic wand or kicking forest creatures. Okay, this is a video game.
Doesn't she kick something? I feel like she does kick something in the movie.
I'm getting there. My notes I wrote, this was explained at the beginning because Glinda, or Galinda if you prefer, gave her the wand to help her get through the forest. It's a mechanic. It's a MacGuffin for the game. You just got to have
someone
some
read
kind
Game
of
Pro and was like, "Give her a wand," and
give
they were
her
like,
a wand.
"Okay,
Exactly."
Put corn on a unicycle, please.
For the love of God!
So, but
we don't have Monster Party anymore. We gotta give us something.
But what giving her the wand did do was give us a weapon, even a limited.
I can just see you open up a door. There's a huge dog corn on a unicycle, just pop, pop, pop.
Yeah,
just,
dude.
like
The number of times I thought about Monster Party while playing this game, because like the enemies are. I mean, it's just like they were like, "Fuck, what do we do?" I think we should hire the monster designer from Monster Party to work on this. Brilliant.
Her only other weapon is kicking things, and so the wand is handy. Even though you do pick up gems and stuff to charge the wand, you don't know how many shots you have. There's no indicator, and it's very powerful, but it's limited in its ammo. But that's why they did that. But also, Dorothy being kind of violent isn't out of the question, because in the movie, she actually bops the Cowardly Lion on the nose. When he first appears, he sort of attacks them.
Right.
And she's not having it, and she whaps him on the nose. And then he starts crying, "What the fuck did you do that for?" You know,
where's the Scarecrow's gun?
Right.
You don't see that in the game.
No, you don't.
He had a gun?
No, Scarecrow didn't have a gun.
It's been a long ass time, like a long time.
Now the
since
Tin Man had an axe. Scarecrow was unarmed.
Murphy Brown came out in 1988, by the way, so my joke has no legs. Would you mind? Can you edit that whole thing out? Last 20 minutes?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Thank you.
I'll take care of it.
Great. I know there are big Murphy heads in our audience who will definitely at me. So
there is a scene. The Tin Man is holding a giant pipe wrench and his signature axe. The lion has a bug net and bug spray.
Oh my God!
Has
yes,
a walking stick and a silver 6-shooter.
You're right. That's right. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie, but yes,
it's been a very long time.
I do now remember that. Thank you for correcting me.
And I thought about watching it specifically for this episode, and I was like, "Nah, dog, it's gonna make me real sleepy." And I know I'm not going to make it through it.
It's because they dump asbestos on you
yeah.
in a poppy field.
I hear that if you have asbestos dumped on you in a poppy field while listening to The Dark Side of the Moon, while watching the movie, it's like the best way to do it.
It's the only way.
It enhances the experience.
We're going to break into the Columbia with all the asbestos they have in there.
We'll have a showing there.
Yeah, that means it can't catch on fire.
Dilapidated movie theater.
Don't get me started.
I know.
Don't do it.
Ian tried to revive it, and they told him no.
Don't do it.
Listener.
Okay, box art. We're at box art now.
Box art. So what did you think looking at the box art?
It was fine.
Felt like this would probably be a Wizard of Oz game.
Yep.
And I guess I would have been like, I suppose a platformer, because what else would it be?
Exactly.
What else could it possibly be?
I mean, but it was bright, colorful, well composed. It has
the art's great.
It has all the stuff it should have to be the big Wicked Witch of the West up there, Everything. The
It's
Yellow
great.
Brick Road, the Emerald City, all of it's there. And then, yeah, it's a great box. It would catch my eye. It would make me want to play this game.
It would not have made me want to play the game.
Oh, yeah?
And it's because when I was 12 years old,
Wizard of Oz wasn't appealing to you, yeah.
absolutely would have been like, is this a video game literally for my grandmother?
But I say this is for your grandmother to buy you for your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately,
You're right.
when the Super Nintendo was a thing, I was in my 20s, so I was cool. I could just
You were over
I
that.
was over that
Yeah.
fear of being judged for that. But
In my case, it honestly wasn't even a
just wasn't-
fear.
you
It
didn't
was
like
just
it.
not.
It wasn't
It
appealing.
wasn't my jam. But yeah, I get it. Like, I don't know. It's one of those where it's like, I think The Wizard of Oz is a very interesting property. I feel like it's a really interesting license, and I am more interested. And this is crazy, especially for me. I'm more interested in the world than I am, like, beyond the movie.
Oh,
you're
fuck
not
yeah.
alone in
than
that.
I am in
There's
the
a
movie
role-playing
itself.
game for it.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's a whole
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm kind of real interested in
Yeah.
that.
The Oz thing has been done. I mean, there is tons and tons and tons of stuff about Oz that's out there that totally goes past and beyond the Dorothy. Even Wicked, the promo poster for the play says a whole lot of things happened before Dorothy dropped in, and that's true. And there's just all kinds of lore and cool things that have been established for that franchise.
And a thing that I think is really neat about it, and what's super appealing to me is because maybe this is because I grew up in the George Lucas Star Wars era where one man had like a stranglehold over everything, which there are good things to that. It's someone's vision. But on the other hand, what is really interesting to me about The Wizard of Oz is like, that's public domain.
Yes.
And it's like, that means anyone can do anything they want to it and add to that story. It's like the Cthulhu mythos almost, where it's like these loosely connected things. And it's like, you get to decide, like, you get to pick and choose, like, what's your canon? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
And then
I think that's cool.
Generally speaking, with
Piggy
stuff
Palace
like
is
that.
canon. Cthulhu
Yeah,
mythos.
it is.
Yeah, to me, it definitely is. I mean,
But with things like that, too, you're not going to have people that are going to get into the Wizard of Oz lore and start creating things to fuck it up.
Right.
They do it out of love.
Yeah,
And
totally.
that can only make it better.
yeah, I think that's really neat. And that's I know I've said this a bunch of times, but one thing I love about the goddamn Ninja Turtles is that those motherfuckers keep coming back, and they keep coming back in different ways each time. And I fucking love that so fucking much, because it's just like, well, now they're like this.
Right.
And it's like, all right, check it out. And it's like, well, that was different, but meh. I enjoyed it or I didn't enjoy it. But it's like, doesn't fucking change the shit that I love about it, And I don't know. I love stuff like that where there's art to that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think that's really neat.
I think its impact is so important. I mean, you think about The Gunslinger. That whole book was essentially The Wizard of Oz. In a lot of ways, there's even references to it, and the way that they're just on this journey together as a group for a means to an end, and I just think that kind of something that has that kind of influence bears a lot of. It wants for a lot of creativity. It wants for that sort of expansion and that sort of thing. And like I said, the role playing game that would be awesome to play something like that.
I was so into Wicked at the time. Whenever I was running my Harry Potter series of D&D games, I've done 3. I call them the ACV games, and the third one was when I was really into Wicked in culinary school. So, Dave, you were playing Rylington Redgrove at the time, and like your druid necromancer, like a
Man, I do love that character concept.
life
Really
and
didn't
death
get to
balance sort of thing.
flesh him out, but because they didn't. I can't remember what happened. Was that the move or something? Something happened, and I didn't get to really play that character.
Yeah, that was where the move.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but I love the idea of playing a good necromancer that's just like death is a part of life, and just because you're you're reanimating corpses with no souls doesn't mean that that's necessarily an evil thing inherently.
Right.
It's just a tool. That's the soul is not in this body anymore. Like the soul is not being desecrated, which obviously there is necromancy where the soul is desecrated, but anyway, sorry.
But I was to kind of do the life and death thing. My plan there was to have somebody flub a spell trying to save Rylington and make you a construct before you hit the ground so you would live. Like one of the big bads like basically throws you off a cliff. And then before you hit the ground, they're trying to do a spell to save you in a rush. They flub it up. You turn into a construct. You get the scarecrow template.
I get Alfonso.
Before you hit the ground. Yeah.
That's what happens in Wicked.
Oh, that's what
where
happens
the scarecrow
in Wicked?
comes from.
Ah,
So
okay.
they talk about
I've
his
never
origin.
seen Wicked, so
Yeah.
it sounds neat.
It is cool.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's very cool. But yeah, box art was
So if
good.
if the game were a movie,
Yes.
because clearly with all the love for the movie, you might not compare the game to the actual movie. What's a movie or a celebrity you would compare it to?
I'm calling back to one of my movies from earlier and going with Halloween Ends, which just shows kind of an example of how it's possible to take a beloved franchise and kind of fuck it up. I feel like I did have problems with this game, and I think a lot of it was technical stuff, a lot of it was design stuff. I feel like this game didn't pay the kind of tribute that it should have. I'm not a designer. I don't know what I would have done differently, but my end game wouldn't necessarily have been this. So I just feel like I think it was probably a big letdown for a lot of people who might have been very excited about this being, oh, finally we have a Wizard of Oz
Like E.T.,
game.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
It seems like a weird, very weird property to base a 1993 video game on. Like I could see this being like now in like the world of dark,
man.
gritty reboot kind of deal where you
good.
could make a real like awesome horror game
Oh, you could
set in the
do
Wizard of
Return
Oz.
to Oz clock tower style now, and it'd be amazing.
Fuck,
Return to Oz was so much darker.
I think you could have a section of the game that was essentially the original movie and just darken it up a little bit. Because you think about it, you think about this movie from the perspective of they're singing, they're dancing, they're la la la. It's really not like,
Which
it's
is what
terrifying.
Yeah.
The things, you take a 13, 14-year-old girl and throw her into a forest of demon trees and flying monkeys and asbestos everywhere. I mean, it was
Scarecrows
from that
with guns.
Yes,
Yeah.
from that
and representations of
perspective.
3 men who definitely didn't touch her while she was in her coma.
Right, exactly.
I mean, they're just there when she wakes up. That's not weird.
From that perspective, it could be a lot scarier. But
Sure.
we got a musical because it was 1939.
I really think that the music is. I like music, and I always have liked music, but I've never really been a big musical fan unless it was animated for whatever reason. If it was like a Disney animated feature film, I was on board. But I don't know and I know the songs in the Wizard of Oz are like beloved,
Timeless.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like, eh.
I'm a fan of a musical.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is The Music Man, which was parodied in The Simpsons on the the monorail.
Yeah.
They were parodying The Music Man, which I love that.
What about Streetcar Named Desire, the musical?
I don't know that one. I don't think I saw that one.
I think it's the first time
I
we get
only
to see
saw
buff
that
Ned
in
Flanders.
The Simpsons. Yeah. Stella. So that's my movie. I did not do a Pauly Shore this week because I just forgot.
Yeah, I'm regretting the Pauly Shore. It's tough. I have one, and I have a movie as well.
Go for it.
My movie is The Wall, and it is
Nice.
It is a Pink Floyd movie. It's
fucking.
It's The Wall, the album.
What a fucking movie!
It's a great movie. It's fantastic.
Top 10 for me.
But of course, choosing that because of the experience of watching The Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon.
I'm just so glad you brought up The Wall. I don't want to get into it, but man, what a fucking movie!
I did not. So I experienced Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz stone sober. I did not the first time I saw The Wall.
No.
And that, I feel like, made a huge difference.
It does.
Because that
will taint it forever for you. But I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean...
It was a truly bizarre experience.
Yeah, and then from now on, when you see it, you'll get taken back there.
Yeah, no, I have.
Ask me how I know. Probably the same way you know.
Yeah. And my Pauly Shore movie is, how is this game like Pauly Shore? I chose Son-in-Law, which takes place on a farm in South Dakota, which might as well be Kansas, right?
Yep.
Good pick.
So for my movie, I picked something called Accidental Activist. And I was showing Ian.
This is great.
So there's a TikTok account where the guy just would buy like the dollar movies from the dollar store and shit like that and watch them. So he stumbles upon this series of Christian movies. So his whole TikTok account is now reviewing this huge series of super low budget, super shitty Christian movies that I guess they're all like this old dude who has a bunch of money makes these very hard, awful Christian propaganda films and puts himself in it. So he calls it the Gramps cinematic universe because his character is always Gramps.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm wondering how many of these Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins has seen because he's watched some of these absolutely horrible movies.
And Kevin Sorbo is in some of them.
Of course he is.
Yeah. Like
we've got Kevin Sorbo. Yes.
He hasn't gone crazy at all, folks.
He's perfect. He's perfect.
Lucy Lawless doesn't regularly call him out on Twitter for being a crazy shitbag. But in Accidental Activist, which is an awful movie about a guy who signs a pro-traditional marriage
and it's
decree.
It's against
whatever,
gay marriage.
Yeah, whatever the form. I can't.
So
think of the
these
word.
are recent-ish movies.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I assumed these are like from the early 2000s or something.
These are pretty recent.
Okay.
And of course, then like the gay mafia gets a hold of it and they boycott his businesses and ruin him. The gay paper, they call it the gay paper, comes out and lists his name and lists his business, and they just ruin him.
The name of the publication is the gay paper.
They just call it the gay paper.
Okay.
One of the gay.
I hope there was like a spinning newspaper to like introduce a scene, and up top it's like the gay paper.
And then, oh my God, one of the things in there was, what do you mean it's a gay paper? Is it like in love with another
boy paper?
Oh, it's that bad.
And for some reason, he keeps going to like this old black woman and like, would you explain slavery to me? And he compares.
And they got a real black woman.
I need that isolated. I need that to be Tyler's ringtone when he calls me.
Can you explain slavery to me?
You'll hear it once a year.
Yeah, if that. I'll get really worried too.
Oh no, why is he calling?
Oh no, my phone's asking about slavery. That's bad.
David, are you going to answer your phone?
I don't want to.
And like, so it's comparing being for quote unquote traditional marriage to slavery because they're saying how Christianity was here first and they're persecuted. It's fucking terrible. But during huge chunks of it.
So, but they're comparing traditional marriage to slavery?
Or being pro-traditional marriage.
Being pro-traditional marriage.
Being against gay marriage to everything is so pro-gay that if you're for traditional marriage, it's akin to the same burden of slavery.
This is really this is
there are huge there are chunks of the movie where like the audio just isn't there. Like the production is just garbage.
We quit. Half of us are gay. Fuck you.
Well, there's like a gay character who is like also it's awful. It's awful. So because of like,
and the gay character is like such a dick.
yeah, of course he's
I hate
evil.
God. Does he say that?
Pretty much.
probably.
More or less, from what I could tell. Yeah.
So in the end, like nothing happens. Like he just gives his businesses back because he sticks to his guns, and then the ending is like, are you pro-life? Would you sign our petition? Petition is the word I was looking for earlier. And it ends with him like, yes, I will sign. And the cycle starts all over again. So it's awful. And because of I'll compare the platform programming to the audio skips and shit in the production for this movie to the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. All right.
Come down my journey to the grand cinematic universe with me.
Yeah. Can I tell you how enamored I am with the idea of the gay mafia? Like that is like
They boycott businesses and ruin hardworking Americans.
That is incredibly interesting idea to me. I want to see that. That'd be like a great like fucked up series. It's just called The Gay Mafia.
It's like The Sopranos, only Vito is straight in the gay mafia and they have to kill him.
Right? What do you mean you don't want to suck my cock?
Just Tony. What do you fucking mean? We've all got cum on our face. What the fuck? that cinnamon roll icing. Fucking kill him.
The Gay Mafia.
The gay
Coming
Sopranos.
soon.
And then my Pauly Shore movie, I just Googled Pauly Shore drug movie and came up with the movie Guest House. Just because I could liken Dorothy's adventure into Oz to a big drug trip.
Which it kind of was, if you think about it.
I'm surprised no one chose Twister.
Yeah.
I almost
like
did.
Helen Hunt too much for that.
Yeah.
You didn't see it. Skip that house and that house and come straight for you.
Can we say three
There's
good
a Twister
things?
2 coming out, by the way.
There's a Twister 2?
Yeah, there's a
coming
sequel
out?
coming. Just heard
When?
a blurb. I don't know when. I just heard a blurb about it yesterday.
Are did the publishers reach out to GamePro asking for ideas for their movie?
Maybe. I don't know how you're going to do it without Bill Paxton, but whatever. I'll
Bill
probably
Pullman.
watch it.
Get a random bill.
Yeah. Three good things.
Three good things.
I have good things to say
I have
about
some
this.
good things to say about it too. I liked the graphics. I liked the opening screen and the cutscenes. Gameplay wasn't great, but
The gameplay is where this game falls.
it really does
apart.
because there's lots of bright colors. I like the way the characters looked, even
I do
though
too.
a lot of reviewers talk about how shitty Dorothy looks. I don't know how much more Dorothy looking you can get. She looked fine.
Read between the lines.
Yeah.
I think they wanted a sexy Dorothy.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
hell,
ain't, and that's fine. I'm good with that because I think I'd definitely be weirded out if it's like, damn, Dorothy's like fucking sexy as
She
shit.
doesn't even look like she's on methamphetamine.
Right?
Come on.
I mean, every Dorothy I've ever seen is when the chicks I know dress up like her for Halloween, and they're always fucking sexy. What the fuck?
I love New
Where's
York.
the
Ian.
fucking cleavage?
Where's the fucking cleavage?
Did Andrew Dice Clay just show up?
When I get hit, she doesn't fall over and let me see her panties for a second like Chun-Li.
So I'm fucking this chick, right? I thought, though, that Scarecrow looked more like Scarecrow from Batman.
Definitely. Definitely.
He was creepy as fuck.
Absolutely.
He looked great, but he was creepy as
especially
fuck.
in like the cut scenes where it's like, what's wrong with his mouth? Because it looks like it looks like he was just waterboarded. You know?
Also, one of the things just about the design and some of the stuff that they put into the game, I thought it was really cool that Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse was in this
Damn
game.
it. Yes, I know.
As well as Baby Groot.
Baby
towards
Groot.
the end, when you go into some of the houses in the cities.
Oh, I did.
There are like these.
Dave did not make it to the cities.
There are like these creatures.
Could you try again?
Dave did not make it into the cities. Siri,
Well, she.
Here.
thank you.
Good night.
Sorry, I can't help with that on this Apple Watch.
Okay. She's still going.
Yeah, she's reeling. Welcome our fourth co-host, Siri from Ian's wrist.
Stop saying Siri because
Nah.
Or cities? Is that what sounded enough
City?
like?
Is your favorite star Sirius?
What do they call them in Britain? Series.
some of the little creatures in the houses look like Baby Groot. And so there's that. And then
Don't tell Sam Raimi.
with regards to the graphics, I thought the animations were really good. I liked the way the characters moved. I thought the sizing was right. I liked that stuff. So, I liked the puzzles. I thought the puzzles were a nice treat. Every level, there's a little dog bone that you can get. And when you do, you go into a puzzle level and you play a puzzle as Toto. So you're either adding up the numbers on dice to go to the right number and pick things, when you do these, then the tickets become available to you.
Yes, we'll get to the tickets.
That we're not to the bad yet.
Yeah, we'll get to the tickets.
But the puzzles were a neat little feature. I liked them. They always took place above the clouds as Toto jumping from gem to gem to gem.
Yeah, I like those too.
And that was pretty cool. I like that when you rescue your friends, they now become a playable character, and you can switch to them at any point, and they have a full health bar when you switch to them. So if Dorothy's getting beat up, you can switch to the Scarecrow, and he'll have a full life bar. The only thing that was kind of weird, though, is like if you die as one character, that counts as a death forever.
They're gone forever.
Yeah, they're gone forever.
They're gone forever.
You lose that character.
They're dead. This world has
But
consequences.
fortunately, the good side of that, though, in my opinion, they thought of that, and you can go back to the level where you rescued your friend
and rescue them
and
again.
do it again and get them back.
That's good. I didn't know that.
You can go back to any level that you've played. So, like for example, if you want a 1-up or a special item or something, and you know where it's at, you can go back to that level, get it, exit the level.
Yes.
Or finish the level again, and then you're back to the world map where you can go back to your.
I knew that, but I didn't know that you could regain your companions.
I think
Rescue
SNES
your
Drunk said
companions.
you can't regain the lion.
The lion is one of those
stays
that
dead.
you lose and he stays dead
Yeah.
for some reason. That is true. I don't know why.
He's not brave enough to come back.
Yeah, it must be his cowardly nature.
Good point. That's a good point.
So there was that, and then I did have one more good thing. Is that if like at the very beginning of a level, it kind of goes back on what I was just saying, but if at the very beginning of the level of a level, there's something that you want, like the shoes with the wings on them that
Sure.
make your jump
They let you
longer
fly.
and let you fly. Those things you could go into the level, get that thing, and then turn around and exit the level from the beginning.
Right.
So you don't have to go all the way through a level to claim a 1-up or whatever and potentially lose your thing that you were going for. You can just turn around and leave.
Although I agree that that's good, they don't make it as easy as like Super Mario World, where you can start select and get out of it. You get out of there immediately. You do have to go back to
You
the
have
beginning
to
of the level,
leave.
or you have to either go to the
You have
entrance
to-
or the exit.
You have to physically leave the level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just 3 or 4 good things. I liked this game okay. I didn't love it, but I liked it okay.
I agree with you on a bunch of these good things. I like the graphics. I think the graphics during the gameplay are beautiful. I think the graphics in the cutscenes are horrifying.
Bold Toto.
Yeah,
Very
in the very
bold.
beginning where like Dorothy's laying on the grass and Toto is some kind of creature, barely resembling a dog.
Right.
Like that art is bad.
You could tell that these designers worked better on a smaller level.
Absolutely.
Because the witch head floating in the bubble and Glinda floating in the bubble at the very beginning when you start the game.
Homie, I didn't know. I couldn't tell that was Glinda. It
could you not?
took a long time to be like, I know that's Glinda, but my brain hasn't processed like it. I know it's Glinda because it says Glinda,
Right.
and I've seen the movie. But like my brain is like, all right, man, we gotta figure this out. We gotta figure out what piece is what, you know.
Yeah. But the witch face in the bubble was really neat. You know, they did better. All the little things. The face I watched through the long play as well, and the face of the wizard at the floating above his altar was really cool looking.
Good.
That kind of stuff was really well done.
I thought the large scale stuff was pretty horrible.
It was bad.
And then
Except for when you start the game and when you get the end,
right?
It looks like the movie,
like the title screen,
the sepia tone title screen,
definitely.
the sepia tone the end.
Yes,
that was a nice touch. Definitely,
I like that a lot. I literally audibly guffawed when Dorothy gets sucked up into the tornado.
Yep.
Because Dorothy is a PNG. She mowed sevens real big and then just goes, whoo, just spirals away. And it's just like, what the? I literally laughed out
loud. It's a PowerPoint reverse Star Wide.
I mean, it is so, it is so, it was so cheesy and bad and like flat and just like, oh boy.
Yep.
So other than that, during the gameplay, I thought the graphics were fantastic. I love the colors, love the sprite work. I even agree with the animations. I think the animations were nice. I love the music. I know I mentioned that earlier.
Yes, that is a really good feature.
I thought the original tracks were even better than the 16-bit renditions of the songs from the movie. This game is weird as fuck, and I think that is incredibly charming. And that is where this game actually moved up a letter grade for me, because it's like, this is a weird game. This is weird.
It's
really
weird.
You could replace Dorothy with Earthworm Jim with a lot of the enemies, and it wouldn't feel that off.
Yeah,
the Earthworm
outside
Jim
of the
would find
gameplay,
corn stalks
on a unicycle.
unicycles.
Totally. And I mean, there are parts where it's like you're in a muddy swamp and the enemies are giant teeth.
A giant crow in a vest.
That you kickbox on a fence. And when you hit him, he goes, caw, like a man saying caw. And it's like, I don't think that's intentional, but that is such like a brain mind fuck. That's just like, do they mean it to sound like a man saying caw?
And he has big wings, but he kicks back at you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You have a kick contest.
Right.
With a giant
You're
crow.
totally, it's like Kung Fu. You're both kicking at each other. I fucking love that. It's so fucking stupid, but it's weird on the next level. It's like, it's so weird that it feels like they knew what they were fucking doing, that they knew it was weird and they were leaning the fuck into that.
It, yeah.
And I love that so much. It made this game charming to me.
Agreed. I love that word for this game. It is charming.
And one other thing that I think this game did very well, and it's because we've played so many platformers for the Super Nintendo, the levels in this game are varied. And that is real important, because so many of these platformers, it's like, how many forest levels do we play before we get to the water levels that we play, where there's 8 of those, and then we play 8 desert levels that all look the fucking same, and then we play 8 lava levels, and it's like, I'm fatigued from that. We've seen that shit so much that I feel like this game, it does repeat stuff, but it feels like you move from one biome to another biome pretty quickly.
And I do like, to that point, I do like the fact that some of the levels are horizontal and some are vertical, and they do a good job of mixing it up.
And the ones that I played were pretty short too.
They are, and there were some where I was getting frustrated enough to where I just wanted to go, get the fuck out. And
same.
You can't. We'll get to the bad.
Sure. Right.
We'll get to the bad.
Right.
Tyler? Or did you have more good, Dave?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
You guys got all my good stuff, so.
Touched on them.
Yep. So what about the bad?
There was enough bad to be a problem for me.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
I think, first and foremost, as beautiful as it was, the level design was not good in the sense that you could never tell what you were able to stand on, where you could land when you jump.
Yep.
It was and if you
can't
don't
drop
land,
down.
you can't drop down from
You
up.
have to find a crack.
And if you jump to another thing, you've got a 50% chance of not hitting that one tiny little sweet spot where it registers that you're jumping on this platform.
Yeah. The detection's really bad.
That kind of breaks it.
It does.
It definitely makes the game unfun.
It does, because it's literally called a platformer. We need some highlights. Draw some black lines on shit just to show where we can actually stand and jump and move.
Or be a little more generous. That would work too.
Or give it some
we need some
play.
wiggle room. Yeah, we need a little bit of play.
So that was bad.
Yeah.
That made it very difficult. If it hadn't been for save stating, I wouldn't have gotten as far in this game as I did.
Yeah, I saved cut the shit out of it.
And so there's that. And then I felt like, okay, let me get into the tickets thing.
Oh boy.
This is a big one.
It is.
Because this is like that one game we played. I can't remember where you had to get all of the. You had to go
Jelly
back.
Boy?
It was Jelly Boy.
Yep. All the puzzle pieces.
Oh
and
my
shit.
God. I can tell you, homie.
Each world
Yeah.
had 6 tickets in it, and you have to collect all 6 tickets, which are oddly represented by Trivial Pursuit pie pieces at the top of your heads-up display. You had to get all 6 tickets from all the worlds to be able to get in to see the wizard.
But
the end of
there
the
are
game.
only 4 worlds.
Oh, it's 4 worlds. Yeah.
There are 4
6
worlds.
and 4 worlds.
So while I hate that idea that you have to collect all the tickets in order to unlock the final world, I think that's horrible. But the saving grace is that you really only have to collect 24 of them.
And they're not terribly difficult to find. Although
you have to search.
There are some
You
levels,
do have to search.
You do have to search, and there are some levels where that bad jump to a platform mechanic works hard against you when
Yes.
you need to get those tickets.
Yes.
It causes big problems, particularly the river that you're jumping on. There's when you're jumping on logs, and there's logs at the top, there's logs at the bottom, and there's logs and there's rocks in the middle, and you're gonna land on the top logs as they float past. Some of them you have to land on the lower logs so that you drift into a ticket.
I love how you say logs, by the way.
Logs.
Not that time, but just naturally.
But those are not necessarily hard to find.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily easy to get to because of the bad platforming. And then also you can't get the tickets to show up until you've completed the Toto puzzle for
Right.
that level.
Right.
And in some cases it's hard to see the little bone.
It is absolutely. When I was like seeing that bone like in the cornfield was like
What the fuck is that?
I literally didn't see it. And
Yeah.
it's like I started watching a long play after I got done playing the game because I was like, well, that's enough of that, obviously. Let's watch another guy play it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's a bone there? Hidden
Yeah.
amongst the corn stalks? Yeah, sure
And
enough.
you cannot progress unless you get the tickets revealed, and then you go back to each level and get the tickets. So, again, the good thing is you can go back to any level you've played.
Right.
But that, to me, again, I understand the logic there. That adds time to the playability factor,
Sure.
right? This was a long investment of time. If you don't know what you're doing and you haven't got it memorized, or you're not watching a guide.
I think it's a long investment of time, no matter what.
It is. And I think I know they did that to increase the game's value, right? Because we make it hard, we make it challenging.
It'll take kids
Takes
longer.
kids longer to play it.
Sure.
But it also doesn't take long to lose interest because you're having to fight the game's interface to get the things you need to do.
It's not
complete the
fun
game.
to collect the stuff.
No,
and that's
it's
a
not.
problem. And like everyone listening to this show for a long enough time knows that I don't like collectathons, and that's definitely what this is. And it's weird because it's like I can tolerate them sometimes in 2D games. 3D games is where it really it feels gross.
Hence the entire N64 library.
Right. Yeah, from Rare for sure, right?
Yeah, Rare was all about it.
But it's like, if the gameplay is fun, it has to be real fucking fun, and I'll do it, and I can enjoy it. But the gameplay has to be very, very fun. Very fun.
It has to exceed expectations,
right?
In that regard,
Yeah, it has to outweigh. The fun has to outweigh the chore of finding shit.
Yeah.
And that is so rare. And it's almost like this game, and I truly believe this game would have really been better served as a Metroidvania style game. I feel like you've got a lot of the factors with the different biomes. They have a lot of variety to it. If it all just connected together, and instead of having to collect a certain number of tickets from each stage, if things are just gated, where it's like, oh, you got to find the scarecrow to get past this part into the next area of the world. Like, you got to get the scarecrow in order to get past the fields or whatever.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this kind of makes more sense to me, and it's more palatable.
Yeah.
Or I think it's a good way to think about how the game could have been better, because of like, if Dorothy is very mobile but doesn't have any offense,
right?
Okay, you switch to Scarecrow or Tin Man, powerful, like. And I kind of see those elements there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they fucked up the attacks. Like, Scarecrow's attack has no range.
None of them have range.
None of them
have range.
You got to wait till the enemy is right up your ass to do anything.
Yeah.
And you'd think Scarecrow's got a fucking pitchfork.
Uh-huh.
And a gun.
And a gun. And you'd think he would have range with the pitchfork, or that the axe attack from the Tin Man would be more powerful or swing wider or something. But
compensate for the Tin Man not being able to duck or jump.
He can't jump.
Right.
He can't fucking jump.
Can't jump. And then,
but
by the time you've got Tin Man, you're supposed to have Scarecrow.
You can switch to jump, and then switch back to Tin Man, I guess.
Yeah, for whatever reason. And then, of course, if you get and keep the lion, he can climb stuff. So, they gave the thought to the characters, but they just didn't execute it right. And they didn't there's really, other than having the additional life bars to fall back on, there's really no advantage to playing as the other characters.
My biggest, because you can't attack and jump.
Right.
And there are
That's
so many
awful.
So many different things, like the mice on the fence.
In the background.
You just can't. Yeah, you just
in the background.
And they hit you.
And they're tiny.
Yep.
They're like literally we're talking like 5 pixels wide. Like,
yeah, and if you're in front of the fence, they still hurt you.
Yeah, even though they're in the background. It's ridiculous.
dumb.
there are fucking buzzsaws in the game. Buzzsaw, mice on a fence, damage.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Everything in this game is gonna fucking kill you. You don't know where it is, the levels, the projectiles are so limited. You have to fall back on your stubby kick, and you can only do that when you're not jumping.
Right. When you're on the ground. In a lot of regards, I know I say this a lot. I'm sorry, but I do think it's true. This feels like an NES game.
It does.
It just feels like an NES game. A lot of the things that we're saying are like it's like old shit. It's like shit from the 80s. Where it's like, oh, mice and buzzsaws do the same amount of damage. It's damage is damage back then,
You made the comment, you pointed out to us that someone did a ROM hack of this game where you don't have to collect all the tickets to get to the final level.
Right.
I think with the proper ROM hack, if someone was to go in and fix the platforms and to give the characters a little bit better attack, something that
add in more projectiles, let you be able to tell how much ammo you have.
Just those quality of life things, this game would have been amazing.
It could have been.
It could have been really good.
Because I didn't hate it. What I hated about this game was the fact that it was plagued with technical issues that
made it
exist. Yeah, because otherwise I would have really liked this game.
Everyone's slow in this game. That's another complaint of mine. They're very slow.
And it feels like you have to play it slowly. You have to be slow and methodical and plan your every move.
Yes.
Because you have to kick, you have to hoard your projectiles, and the screen is just full of shit.
Oh,
so
it's
you
bad.
take
And
a step at a time to try and time your kicks to clear everything out.
You're right. And go ahead.
which is not a thing that I wouldn't have found unfun. There's a lot of negatives there. As a kid, I think I would have dug that. I really do. But like as a kid that grew up playing a bunch of DOS games,
Oh, okay.
like
I can understand.
like where it's like, oh, I know how video games are. You play them over and you die over and over again to figure shit
I
out.
played Mega Man for DOS.
And then-
This is very similar.
Right. And then it's like, yeah, like there's this stage where it's like the gorge, where it's like you enter the gorge and there are two buzzards that dive bomb you while a cactus chases you.
A cat,
Cactus cat.
Cactus.
Tie.
Which that
That should be Pokemon.
yes. But it's like that segment right there where it's like, oh, well, I can't kill these buzzards because I can't attack while I'm in the air. Like that whole intro to that level is a puzzle. It is. That's a puzzle. It's like, how do I get through this without taking any damage? And it's like it felt like I had to approach the game so many times as what is the right order to do? Like, what's the right thing to do, and what is the right order to do it in?
Well, and to your point, I watched the entire long play. Most of the time when you're watching a long play, the person playing it just runs through the game. They do everything right. They don't mess up. It just goes. This game, I think you just have to deal with the fact that you're going to take
Cross
damage.
your fingers. And,
You're going to take damage. This guy, at one point, I'm watching the long play, and at some point, he just goes. He's like, fuck it. He says, you can almost hear him saying, fuck it, because there's so much shit going on. There's no way to plan it. You just have to run and hope to God you have enough health. And thankfully, the level is short enough to where you can just run for it. Because one of the good things is when you clear a level, you start the next level with full health.
Right.
Which is very
Yeah,
nice.
it's great.
It's
You can
necessary.
leave. You can start a level, get hit a bunch of times, and be like, "Fuck this! I need a restart," and then leave the level and come back, and you're at full health.
And they
It
did
is nice.
that, and they knew what was up.
Yeah,
There is a password system.
yeah, there is,
Very long.
It's 20 characters.
and I get that. I understand why. It's because the more characters you have, the more data is stored.
Right.
So they have to keep track of how many tickets you've collected and how many bricks you've collected. Because you're not just collecting tickets, you're collecting bricks that you use to connect the worlds to one another.
You don't have to have them all.
You can platform
but it
from them, right?
staggers them.
Yeah.
If you don't have all the bricks, so there's levels in between worlds where essentially it's a canyon connected by either yellow bricks, red bricks, blue bricks, depending on what you've been collecting in that world. And if you have them all, if you somehow manage to find and collect all the bricks, you could just walk across. But if not, they're staggered, so you have to jump. And again, the jumping.
Hope you hit right. And
the
don't
jumping
fall through.
mechanic is
Yeah, because the bricks are like bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like tiny ass bricks.
They look like Pac-Man from the Atari 2600 dots. Yeah, bonk, bonk, bonk. But yeah, that's definitely. They got to keep track of a lot of things because you've got to do how many people you've rescued. Are you wearing the flying shoes?
Right.
Or,
and it keeps track of all that.
Yeah, which is good, but that's a lot of shit.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That is a pain in the ass because you're going to die a lot.
So where'd this game lose you?
At those places.
Yeah, it really lost me in the beanstalk looking level.
The Xanthem Farm.
Yeah, where you're jumping from
that's where I was done.
stalk to stalk, and there's just literally no discernible place to land anywhere. It's a gamble.
Yes.
And for me, it was, oops, I fell, save state. Oops, I fell, save state. Just restored save state until I was able to finally muddle through it. But there was too much of that level repeated, and that's where it lost me.
Yeah, that's about as far. I got to, if I'm thinking of the same farm, that's the same area that had those barns with the buzzsaws in them, right?
It was like right after that.
It was right after that because the poppy field, it was like poppy flowers on these giant beanstalk looking things.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
And I did not know about the flying shoes at the time.
See, I didn't know. I stopped playing to look in the manual because I was like, what are I had collected flying shoes before, but it's like, what do these do? You know?
They are absolutely essential.
They're to
absolutely
absolutely.
prevent insanity.
Right. Because they let you float like Princess from Super Mario Brothers 2.
A long way.
A long way,
Like
yeah.
a good 4 or 5 full seconds of you're just flying in a straight line. As long as you can get over a spot where you can land, you're good to go.
Right.
They lose their charge after a bit, but it can get you through some really, really frustrating shit.
It lost me at the buzzsaws. It's when I stopped.
That was
because it was one of those where it's like, I don't know how to get through this. And I feel like I have to because it looks like the
There's gotta be a
platforms lead
ticket or
up,
something
right?
in
yeah. There's
here,
a ticket at
There's
the
a
top.
right,
Yep.
and it's like I knew that there was a trick to it, and I couldn't figure that trick out. And then when I watched the long play, I was like, "Oh, the Scarecrow's pitchfork destroys them." Oh, okay. Well, that seems like I never would have figured that out. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Fucking buzzsaw's natural enemy, the pitchfork.
right. Well, at the end, when you're playing almost to Emerald City, there's parts of that map where there are clocks that you walk past.
Yeah, I
the
saw
clock
that.
hands hurt you.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
fucking kill the clock hands.
Yeah, everyone I saw the videos would switch to Tin Man and just axe them till they're gone and then switch back.
Yeah. Not fun.
For its technical flaws, it was too hard.
Yeah.
The spinning platforms, everything spins, everything drops, everything. There was on that same world where we were talking about the beanstalks. There were floating leaves,
I know.
and when you
I know.
when you
yeah.
land on those, they stop.
They stop.
So now you have to time it to stop at the right time.
Not only do they stop, eventually
They
they'll fall.
after they stop. Everything drops, everything falls. You had to assume at a certain point in this game that wherever you're standing is no longer going to be a stable platform in about maybe 1 or 2 seconds.
And I'd make the argument that that necessarily isn't a bad thing, again, if the gameplay is fun. Because that is something I would be into if it were like Super Mario World or something. If it had like those controls and it's like, oh, this is challenging. But it's challenging in Super Mario World. It'd be challenging and fun at the same time.
This is challenging and frustrating.
This is challenging and yes, frustrating. Where it's like it takes a long time to do all this stuff. It's not fun doing it, and yeah.
So it started off okay for me, and then that's where it kind of dropped off. Is that in that level where the platforming just really becomes nigh on impossible. I feel that I would have checked out back in the day at that point. I would have had a hard time fighting with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I gave up.
it's not.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah,
it's
it's not
not
fun. Not gonna do it.
unbelievable
Yep.
to think that it. I mean, you will. I did too. And I did what you did. I stopped playing and watched someone else do it.
And
I enjoyed the long play. It was about an hour and a half. Had it going at work behind the scenes, just watching, having it on. And
I didn't even finish the log play.
I did.
I was just like, yeah, okay.
but it was fun. I mean,
Yep.
it is what it is. You're either all in or you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do it, you can, and it's maybe would be worth your time and very satisfying if you can do it.
I thought it was frustrating to watch.
It
I
was. I mean,
really did. I thought it was
like,
frustrating to
Jesus,
watch.
This is still happening.
Right.
We've got.
And it's so slow.
So
It's so fucking slow that it like I don't know, man. Like that's what was frustrating to me
it's
when
like
I was watching
Sonic
the long
getting
play.
started to run underwater. Like
Yes.
yeah, but
It's-
it's just you
it's
just don't speed
slow.
up.
Yeah, I just kept watching the long play, being like, "Fuck, man! Like, can we do this at like times? Can we do this times and a half? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, what about buy, rent, or birthday?
Strange as it may sound, this is a buy for me.
After we just shit on it, yeah.
This is a buy for me. It is. I think this is a good time killer. I think I would have gotten it and been frustrated with the gameplay, but I don't think I would have been mad about it because I do think this is a quantity over quality thing for me. I think there's just enough going on to where it would have been worth having in the library.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the only Wizard of Oz title, so I think it would be good to have in the collection just to say you've got it. So If I'd have gotten it for my birthday, I'd have been cool with that. I'd have been fine with it. It would have been, again, not to say that I wouldn't have still been frustrated, but I also would have been, back in the day, back when this was not old shit, I would have been probably more apt to say, like, hey, I would have been more apt to say, hey, I can deal with this because it's good to look at and it's fun to watch, I don't know. So, yep, it's a buy for me.
And while Melissa watched me play this, she was like, "Oh, I would have played this as a kid. It looked good."
This would have taught me puzzle solving and hand-eye coordination when I was a little girl. What about you, Dave?
It's a buy for me, dog.
I'm glad to hear it.
Despite just shitting on it for the
I
last
had a feeling you and
10
me
minutes.
were going to be on the same page.
It's a buy for me. And here's the thing, especially in the time, it would be a buy for me.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a time in my life where I had the patience to do this because I didn't realize that death was as close as it is.
Right.
And this would be, like you said, definitely a good time waster, especially with the fucking password system. Like, this is something I could work on over the course of a
put it
summer.
down anytime, come back to the password, say, okay, I'm going to challenge myself today.
Yep.
Good.
So,
I'm glad we're on the same page because I felt like we would be. I felt like I knew you in this moment. What about you, Tyler?
Had this been at Piggly Wiggly, I would have rented it. Probably just once. I didn't care for it nearly as much as you guys did.
Yeah.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
the bar was
same.
set so fucking low.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And I think that had something to do with it too. My expectations for this game was when I started it up, I was like, I'm about to play the worst game on the system. And it's fucking not at all close to the worst.
Even. It's in any way. You mentioned to me last week when I shit all over Terminator 2 and T2, the arcade game. Oh, well, we're going to see how this stacks up to Wizard of Oz.
Right.
No, this game
Wizard of Oz is better than Terminator 2.
A million
It's
times
much
better
better
than Terminator 2.
And it makes sense to me that Shaq Fu was also on that list. Because
I didn't
Shaq
think
Fu
Shaq
is
Fu
like,
was as bad.
it's not that bad.
I put them on about the same level.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Wizard of Oz, you mean? Yeah, absolutely. Where it's like, these are games that are not good, but there are redeeming qualities.
Well, and I know also it's a very popular trend to jump on the shit on the bad game bandwagon. And I like that we're taking the time to point out the things that aren't bad about it, because I think it's just, you're going to go out there and I feel like we're going to be the only ones saying it's not a complete piece of shit, or at least in the very, very large minority. I don't know. I don't see what the fucking hate is about. I do.
There are
but not
there are big
that
problems
much
with
hate. Not that much.
Yeah,
because there are so many fucking games out there that are 100 million times worse than this.
Do you think, we talked about this at Terminator 2, do you think it being tied to the Wizard of Oz has anything to do with that level of hate? Like, if this were just a...
Oh, yeah. It's out there. Anything with the movie, I mean, that's going to get notoriety. It's easy to have nothing to make it surface, to make you look at it. It just stays at the bottom of the lake.
Well,
there are way worse games down there that just didn't get enough attention to get enough hate. Well, this did.
They had the opposite syndrome. Is we had the bar set super low. Everyone else, when this was new or whatever, probably had the bar set really high. Oh, this has got to be good. Surely they're not gonna make a bad game over a classic movie like Wizard of Oz. Yeah. So I can understand that. And I know I've shit on it a little bit myself, but that's a programming
and
issue.
it's warranted. I mean, like, these criticisms are all warranted.
But it's still good enough for me.
When I was compiling that list of horrible games, because I remember what we'd always talked about, what I'd always heard, I went through and looked at a whole bunch of top 10 and top 15 horrible games lists. The 7 I mentioned were almost on every single list. The other 3, 4, 5, were a mixed bag of race driving, T2 Judgment Day.
Which, I mean,
I saw that. What did I not see on a single fucking list? Street Hockey 95.
Yeah.
And that is worse than all
Yeah,
of
and it's
them.
because, like you were saying, it's at the bottom of the lake.
Yep.
No one,
No reason to pay attention to it.
who knows about that game?
Yep.
I sure as fuck did not until we started doing this show, you
Yep.
know. And it's like yeah, man, absolutely. I never would have even thought of street hockey. I never would have picked it up to try it.
Right.
Yep.
Because it's got like a combination of like street and hockey and 95. I don't like any of these things.
I hate streets. Fucking streets? No
Roads.
way.
I'm a road man.
I like avenues. Fuck streets.
And boulevards.
You see what Flopsy has to say about it?
Yes. What do you guys think? What do you think Flopsy has to say about it? What do you think the rarity of the Wizard of Oz is?
This has got to be common, right?
I would think it's a common game. I mean, I haven't seen it
I don't
anywhere.
know, right?
I don't either. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have known automatically.
didn't.
I would have known about Terminator. You know, I would
I
have
feel like I
thought-
would have remembered seeing this box art somewhere,
And it's Sata.
but I don't.
I don't know if that means anything.
So I might say
Sata.
uncommon.
Sata.
Uncommon just because I've never ever seen it anywhere.
I'm gonna go uncommon.
Well, no,
I'll
I
rock it
take
with
that-
you. I'll rock it with you. I can.
Might have been
You've swung me to the uncommon.
I
train.
did play this very briefly as a kid.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I remember playing it, and I'd completely forgotten about it until this very moment where a random person who went to my church, they happened to host like a barbecue for a bunch of church people, and I went there. They had a kid. I was 12, and their kid was like 4, but they had a Super Nintendo, and I was bored. I was like, "Oh, I want to go inside and play." They had Mario, which of course I had at home, so I didn't play. They had the Wizard of Oz. I remember playing it and turning it off pretty quickly. I mean, granted, there were people coming in and out. Mom and Dad didn't want me sitting in there playing Nintendo, so I couldn't really sit down and dig into it anyway. But I remember not caring for it.
this is not
Not
a game.
so much that I'd be like, I remember this as being garbage forever.
Yeah,
Right.
but-
Sure.
This is not a game you're just going to casually pick up and play. You need to be committed.
Yeah.
Really.
So I'm going to say, just because, okay, I did have an experience with it, I'll go back to common.
Okay. I could see them thinking this was going to be a real big seller. And hell, man, maybe I'm going to common too because the fucking AP wrote about this.
yeah.
That's true. I'm jumping back to my original stance as well. Common.
So common.
And I'm going to say that Flopsy gave this game 3 stars.
I saw the star rating when I was looking it up, so I can't guess on stars, but you're saying
I'll say
common
2.
3 stars. Tyler's saying common 2. I'm saying common.
Common the rapper.
According to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 to 1998 by Common the Rapper, aka Pat Contry, courtesy of Master
People
Mold
make that
Mike
confusion all the time.
and the Mysterious Benefactor, they gave The Wizard of Oz 2 stars. And this is an uncommon game.
Oh,
Man,
we were
okay.
there.
We were there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that tracks. I could see 2 stars for this from Flopsy. My personal recommendation, my personal rating would probably be more like 2.5, pushing 3.
Yeah, it's
hard.
fucked up, man.
I think
Because
2
like
star. I think 2 stars is fair.
right next to it is Winter Olympic Games, Lilyhammer, 94, 2.5 stars. And it's like a lot of this comes down to preference, but that game is not as good as The Wizard of
Right.
Oz.
No.
I mean,
I remember that one.
yeah. So, all right. Well, that's that.
Okay.
How much do you guys think this game is? If you were to buy The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo, how much
Uncommon
would you pay for
game.
it?
I'd say it's probably pretty sought after for a collector.
$34.
$34 from Tyler. What do you think, Ian?
42.
$42. Actual price of The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, at the time of this recording, according to PriceCharting.com, is $22.81. Is it worth it?
I think so.
That's not a bad price for an uncommon game.
I'd pay that for it. If I saw it in the wild, I'd pick it up for $22.
yeah.
Do you guys have any achievements for this game?
Oh boy, I have a bunch.
Okay.
I've got 3.
Tyler, why don't you go first?
My first one is very much not Aslan, and that is you die as the lion.
That's great. I love it.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, because he doesn't come back. He's not a Christ figure
He's
at
not
all.
God lion. Yeah. He's
you
not the allegory for Jesus.
You don't get a lot of Aslan references these days. Good shit, Tyler. I love it.
Cracking.
Cracking good show.
Kick. It's all in the mind. Kill 30 enemies with Dorothy's kick.
Nice.
Nice. Mhm.
And then Billy Corgan ain't got shit. Smash 30 pumpkins.
Awesome.
I was trying to come up with one for the pumpkins, and I didn't even go to smashing pumpkins. Damn. Good shit, Tyler.
Those are very good.
You want me to go next?
Please.
It's going to take a minute.
Okay. Perfect.
My first achievement is, and your little dog too. And your little dog too, you get 100 double ring outs. Oh, wait. That's a different game. Sorry. My next achievement is, someday I'll wish upon a star. And that is pick up and use the shooting star wand. My next achievement is, and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. And to get that one, you get blown off the cliff or bridge to your death by the clouds that blow on you as you're crossing the bridges and stuff.
Those are fun.
My next
Wind
achievement,
physics.
yes.
Second level in the game. And wind physics are introduced.
And it knocks you right the fuck off if you don't know what you're doing. My next achievement is where troubles melt like lemon drops. And that is die from lemons falling on you in any of the forest levels.
That could also be Lemon Party.
Lemon Party as well. My next achievement is away above the chimney tops. Hurry through any building or city level without doing anything, which is what I did. Just jump until you're out. That's what I did on that one. That's where you'll find me is the next achievement. Rescue all of your friends.
Okay.
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? Is my next achievement. And that is use the flying ruby slippers to float over levels you don't want to deal with, or if you don't have all the bricks you need to cross the canyons.
You can use the flying slippers to cheat the shit
out of that.
That's nice.
You can't just cross the whole thing,
Sure,
but you can at least get to the midpoint or to the end.
I'm glad you brought up bluebirds because, wow, didn't expect those to be enemies in this video.
Everything,
sweet little bird. Oh, fuck.
Mice, birds, fuck.
Everything's trying
Cord?
to kill you.
Cord.
Fucking saw blades. They're so useful yet deadly. And my last achievement is, well, that's a horse of a different color. Come on in. And to get, well, that's a horse of a different color. Come on in. Play the ROM hack version of this game so you do not have to collect all the tickets to get into the Emerald City. And that is all of my achievements.
Very good. I only have 3, 2 of which are half-baked, but here we go. First one, lemon stealing whore. In order to unlock lemon stealing whore, make all the lemons in any stage drop without taking any damage.
Tough to do.
Yeah, it is tough to do because of their alchemist fire 1 point of splash damage.
They get little mean faces right before they fall on you.
Some sour fuckers.
Yeah, they are.
Next achievement is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. In order to unlock the road to hell is paved with good intentions, be Manley and Associates and make this video game.
Nice.
And my last achievement is the Wizard of Id. In order to unlock the Wizard of Id,
Great game.
read the instruction manual.
Yes. The instruction manual was packed chock full of scenes from the movie.
But also complete and utter fucking bullshit.
Yes.
I hated that instruction manual so much because it's like, hey, I bet you thought you'd find useful information here, huh? Well, at least we're going to tell you can fly with those slippers with wings on it. And that's like it.
Yeah, be careful. If you fly too long, you may take a tumble.
You're right. Yeah, it's all like folksy wisdom.
Written by some motherfucker from Kansas, probably. back
Moss
in the
always
30s.
grows on the north side of a tree.
Right? It's the farmer's almanac of instruction
I
manuals.
think that McElroy bit, that farm wisdom.
Yeah.
Farm
Do
wisdom.
they still do that?
They did it for like, I think their once a year show for the Max Fun Drive.
Gotcha.
They brought it back. But
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad it hasn't died. Tyler,
yes, Dave.
I have had fun today talking to you and Ian about this video game. If you were to give this game a beard, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it, because now I can make the proper reference, the melting flesh beard of the Nazi who dressed all in black who opened the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because he melts like the Wicked Witch of the West?
Perfect.
There we go. Yeah. That's why I stared at you blankly.
You're
for a
so
minute.
smart.
Dave with the assist.
You knew exactly what I meant.
I was in your mind. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
Got to write down glasses.
It would be the glasses of the Nazi in all black.
The glasses you've left. You go to work, and halfway to work, you realize everything kind of looks weird.
Shit.
Oh, I left my glasses on my nightstand. I've got an alarm on my phone set. Don't forget your glasses. 'Cause
Oh,
I
really?
will do that every morning.
Really?
And then on the way to work, be like, kind of blinking, like, things feel a little weird. Shit. I can't see my screen properly at work.
I think that's might be actually like a good thing because it means that your vision isn't that bad.
I just have an astigmatism.
Because like when I wake up in the morning, and my vision really honestly isn't that bad either, but immediately it's like, man, it'd be nice to see shit.
Glasses.
Right.
Well, you guys want to take a break and hit a quick community corner?
We want to talk about next
next
week.
game.
I have some suggestions if you are interested in hearing them. Instead of
course.
doing the randomizer, what with it being this close to Halloween, I thought maybe we could play something horror based.
Okay.
I don't think you haven't done Mary Shelley's Frankenstein yet. I
No.
heard it's not great.
Yeah.
Or
You want to go? You want to go to that off the back of the Wizard of Oz
why not?
and Terminator 2?
Why not? We're kind
You've
of
listened to this show,
we're
right? You
dredging.
know why.
we're
Now for
dredging
the-
at this point. I don't think we're gonna run into a whole lot
We'll
of
call it
gems.
the October shit streak.
Nice.
There's also Musha, the classic Japanese tale of horror. That's a game.
Is that a North American release?
It is.
Interesting.
We could do that one.
Well, I'm definitely more interested in that I haven't heard of.
I've heard it's not great either.
Oh, I'm
but
sure it's not, but I've seen the SNES drunk on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
So that's a possibility. And then there were the games by Seta,
Right. So what do we got?
Kakoma Night and Busyland.
I've heard that's a good game.
Kendo Rage, which I think you've done.
No,
right? No,
but
okay.
I've also heard that that's a good game, or that's a good one, like a baby's first speed run. I've heard.
Oh, okay. Then there's F1 Rock 2. Like I think it might be a
Sounds like a racing game
racing
to me.
game. And then Airstrike Patrol.
Okay.
So I'm down for any of those. We don't necessarily have to do the horror thing because I mean, by the time next week's episode airs, it will be past Halloween. But the Kakoma Night in Busyland looked okay.
I played that one before.
Oh, have you? Mm-hmm. Up to you guys. Or we could let the randomizer pick, and they'll probably pick Frankenstein.
We can find out. We can press our
Make
luck.
that as a decision. Just
Why don't we add the randomizer, do the randomizer, and then just see. That way, add that to the pool of decision.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That way we know what that option is, and we
Okay.
can choose.
All right. I like that. Gives us a feeling of
We've
we're
done
fulfilling the duty, but we also have agency.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow the letter of the law, but not enforce the spirit.
There we go.
So
Summon that mad boy.
I'll grab the batter up peripheral, plug it in, set it up wild and crazy kid style, put my head on it so I can put my no hole in the random direction, say the prayer. We all love to say, "Beechu boochu beechu boochu beechu boochu beechu boochu boop boop boop." No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
32.
Whoa. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley's Artie Lightfoot.
All right,
done
gotta
that.
re-roll.
Done that one. 537.
At the M's,
S's.
S's.
Not super, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. The rare Super Nintendo game that starts with S. Not
It's
super.
Not super. And we've done it before or not?
We have not.
We have not.
This is a new one.
We've done SimCity 2000.
Simpsons.
We did a
something?
SimCity.
We did SimCity. I don't think we've done SimCity 2000.
There is The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare.
It's not that. It is Stone Protectors.
Oh,
which I believe is, I almost bought it, but I didn't buy it.
because that's the troll fighting
I
game.
believe that's the troll
'em up.
side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Okay. I've seen you play that. You streamed that for a minute.
No, Drex did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe I saw him stream it, and I was like, I'm going to check it out, and then I noped out in 2 minutes.
Maybe.
But I know the first time I ever saw it was Drex streaming it.
Okay. Well, that's a good option.
They had it at Infinite Collectibles. I almost bought it, but it's like, well, spoilers. It was like $80. So we might not have a how much is this game next segment.
You mean a trolls theme beat 'em up?
Was more expensive than the Wizard of
Man.
Oz? Did you know that troll dolls are more popular than Judy Garland?
That's a new sentence.
I just awoke a sleeper agent somewhere. So did that knowledge make things easier or more difficult?
I'm a little more inclined to Stone Protectors.
I
That
am
sounds
a
interesting.
little too, just because it would be nice to play a beat 'em up,
Yeah.
even if it's not a good one.
Yeah.
Stone Protectors. Let's do it.
Stone Protectors.
Stone Protectors. All right, locked in.
Okay. So we still got us a community corner ahead. Gonna do a lovely quiz given to us by our wonderful backlog banisher, Dane, Mr. Puzzles. So stay tuned, hang in there. We'll be right back. Roll it.
Welcome on down to Community Corner.
Have a seat over here on this tin bucket while we talk about
Quizzes.
quizzes.
What the fuck is wrong with you two?
What do you mean, Dave?
We've
That's how
always
we
sounded
are.
like this.
I loved doing that to Kenna. Like, hi, Kenna. Daddy, stop. Why? This is how I've always talked. Daddy's not funny. Oh, you're hurting my feelings.
I'm
I
not
can't use
trying
my
to be
real
funny.
voice.
She's very articulate when she's upset. Henry's just like, ugh.
Well, we have a quiz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a quiz. Oh, you guys looking at me like I have it or something.
We do. If you don't,
I
then
can
the show is over.
pretend.
Yeah, make a quiz for us real quick.
Here's what Dane asked. What are the 5 French mother sauces?
Of course, I have a quiz that I totally pulled up while we were on break, and everything's cool and totally good. I came in from one backlog banisher Dane, aka Mr. Puzzles. This quiz is entitled. Well, before I get into that, I want to remind everybody Murphy Brown came out in 1988. This quiz is entitled Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
Get it? Good evening, gentlemen. You find out weird things when you dig in the past. I'll share one for you. In my family folklore, my great-great-grandmother was seduced by a German traveling salesman named Fillmore, left in the North Carolina mountains with 2 illegitimate children, and said salesman fled to Georgia.
There, ma'am, you've been filled more.
Cha-cha-cha. Well, my mom did a DNA ancestry thing, and turns out the story is only half true. Only fucked her once.
He wasn't a. You have no salesman DNA, sir.
But lots of German.
Plenty of German.
First, my great-great-grandpop, or GG grandpop, was actually of third-generation English descent, and his name was Terrell Chandler.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to Dane about this. I forgot about this.
And he didn't go to Georgia. He went to Kentucky.
There is a real possibility that me and Dane are related. Like, we've discussed it. I'm never going to do an ancestry DNA test ever.
Yeah, man, it's going to fuck up all your crime plans. I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm never doing it. But based on what he's told me, yes, I'd forgotten all about this. We very possibly may be distantly related.
So he didn't go to Georgia. He went to Kentucky, where he had 2 legitimate children and died. Now, continues Dane, I don't know for a fact that based on this striking coincidence, I and our wizened sage are 5th cousins. But I do know that if we were, we could still be legally married in 49 states and
God.
the District of Columbia.
Thank God.
Current spouses notwithstanding.
Because my plans were going to be fucked if that wasn't the case.
Your plans too
None of the
fuck.
Supreme Court has anything to say about it much longer. Couldn't get married in any of the states.
Not if the incest mafia doesn't get involved.
They're always at war with the gay mafia. It's crazy.
Likewise, I have spent the past few days rummaging around the skeletons in the old Wizard of Oz closet, and have put together a little quiz, which I hope you will enjoy based on the IP. Ian, this is your show, my friend.
Here's hoping.
Because I ain't going to be answering any of these. First question. According to the Oz books, the Tin Woodman was once a regular old lumberjack who was replaced piece by severed piece with 10 prosthetics until he was finally all 10 and no man. Which of these TADPOG executive producers shares their name with that of the former human Tin Woodman? Is it Cousin David? Is it Plinko Nick? Is it Cthusiast Jeff? Or is it Pinball Archmage Chris?
I think it's Nick.
Nick?
I'd say I'll go with Nick.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Like
Lock in
Nick
that
the Axeman
in.
or something.
Yeah. Nicholas.
Yeah, something like that.
Locked in. Nick. All right, I don't know when we're going to get our answers, but hopefully this quiz works. Hold on. When I click different options, does it give us points? It says 0 points. No, don't know. No idea. All right, Nick, locked in. I feel like we should have an answer, right?
Damn it, Dane.
Wait,
This is the Morgan Freeman thing all over again.
No. I think this is a user error. I'm not sure that this is I'm going to pass the phone to...
I hired Morgan Freeman to read you guys the answers. Is it not playing?
So if I select different... What do you think? When I hit submit, is it going to give us the right answers? Probably.
I
Maybe?
think probably.
Okay, so we'll wait to the end to get our answers. Okay.
Womp womp.
All right. Next question. If we don't,
Well,
it's going to be hilarious.
it
We're going to
is.
get to this whole quiz and be like, we don't know the answers, folks. Hope you've enjoyed our podcast.
But on Patreon,
the answers will be revealed on a Patreon exclusive.
Next,
Dane answers for his crimes. Patreon exclusive where Dane apologizes and tells all the answers.
next question. L. Frank Baum, author of the Oz books, was a published nonfiction writer prior to the success of the Oz series. Can you guess the subject of his debut work? Is it the hobby of stamp collecting? Is it a thesis on the terror-inducing Brothers Grimm? Is it the use of a home printing press? Or is it making chickens fuck? Is that maybe an animal husbandry thing? Is that the answer where it's like, so like, oh, of course it's not making chickens fuck, but it is.
Making chickens cluck would be cluck.
Not that hard to do.
I would say, because I feel like Oz borrows so much from
know.
how dark the original Grimm tales were.
I know, but I feel like this is
There's that
It's got to
psychological.
be an animal husbandry thing. I'm going with the chickens.
I want to go with the chickens too. Can we convince you, Tyler, to go chickens?
You get 2-1. You can go
Give
chicken.
me a note card,
Oh, are you writing down?
just in case.
Okay.
So we went with Plinko Nick first
Yeah. As the wood as
as the Tin Man.
the
Tin
tin.
Tin Woodsman.
It should be Tim, right?
Tim.
It's the Tim Man.
Woodman. It's Woodman, not Woodman.
Right. Once I was Tim, now I am 10. It's perfect.
Do you still want to go Grimm as your answer?
I would say Grimm.
Okay.
All right. I'm going chickens fuck.
Me too. So I'll put that down for you and me, and Tyler gets Grimm. Okay.
Was he from Kansas?
Could've
Seems like he
been,
was.
could've been.
But I don't know.
All right. Because I think if he's from Kansas, I'm already going making chickens fuck. But it's
Better with the movie itself and not the things surrounding the movie.
well, Ian. Question 3.
I hope. Now I've said that.
During filming of The Wizard of Oz, Terry, the dog who played Toto, was stepped on by one of the witch's guards and suffered a broken paw, taking her off set for 2 weeks. Your sympathy may run dry, however, when you find out how much more money she made per week than the actors who played the Munchkins.
I did know that the dog was paid higher than the Munchkins.
That's
I
fucking
knew
awful.
That is awful.
Is that like a Screen Actors Guild thing? Was Terry a member of the Screen Actors Guild?
And the Munchkins weren't.
Right. Was it? Did she make? Okay, I don't know if this is how much she made total or how much more she made than the Munchkins per week. But is it $25, $50, $75, or $100? That seems like an obscene amount per week for 1939, right?
I'm going to say, what was the second option?
50. About 50.
I'm going to say $25. I bet the Munchkins didn't make $25 a
Yeah.
week.
I'm going
Let's go with
25 as
whatever
well.
sounds the fucking worst.
Right, which is 25.
Yep.
Locking it in.
Okay.
Next question. The 30s were a different time, and safe working conditions were a luxury that, frankly, didn't exist. Which of these was the least hazardous prop or substance used on set for the film? I have a feeling asbestos
Asbestos
snow
is coming
gonna be
up.
here. First one, the Tin Man's oil tears, or the lion's costume, or the Wicked Witch's makeup, or is it the snow in the poppy field?
We know the snow was dangerous.
Which one is the least hazardous?
The least hazardous was probably...
I feel like whenever I heard about the Tin Man's makeup, the tears being toxic would have been included.
What was the second one again?
The lion's costume, which that seems like a trick. That seems like a trick. Because like what would
Because it
be
was
hazardous?
the Tin Man's costume that was hazardous.
Right.
So maybe he's flipping it on us. And we know that the body paint is bad anyway.
I know that there was... I'm almost positive I read something about the Wicked Witch's makeup being like seriously...
I could.
And we based on
I could see that.
Mythbusters, we know that that's a thing.
I think it's the lion's costume is the least toxic thing.
Okay.
I mean,
And he's.
if we're wrong, we're wrong, but...
I would argue that he's not. He showcases no toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but I agree. Lion's costume.
But I'm not. That's not to say that the lion's costume wasn't toxic. It was the least toxic.
Britney Spears is also not on this list. Did you see that post she made? Did you see that tweet? They were talking about it on Discord today. By the time this airs, it's gonna be super old news. But it's like the tweet of her like lying on a bed nude,
Oh yeah, I did see that.
hand bra, and the post vaguely being something about her pussy pulling a legislative act or something like that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about yet, but I guess we'll find
I don't
out.
care. She's still hot.
This pussy needs your scrotus.
You're screwed.
Good shit.
Next question. Morality question. Sponsored by milkross.com. You are an adult, male, semi-magical entity who is approached by a clearly underage girl in a spooky forest. She makes an unsolicited, I'll scratch yours if you scratch mine offer seeking a favor. How do you respond? Assist the helpless little girl, appearances be damned, or make hasty retreat before Chris Henson can ask you to take a seat? So
if it's 1939 at the time, I mean, I think the average person would have assisted.
well, and also keep in mind,
But if it's me, I'm running.
you're an adult male semi-magical entity. I feel like that might be like that.
Are we all semi-magical?
Yeah, by what measuring stick?
I can get a boner right now.
Fucking do it. You fucking do it. You fucking do it. Bluff called. Bluff called. Pull it out. I think the semi-magical entity is the only wiggle room in the 1930s, I guess. Those are the only two wiggle rooms there. I'm going to make a hasty retreat.
Yeah.
I say, and even in Oz, that's like, oh, this is a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap by some witch.
So we're all agreed, hasty retreat.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's an easy one. I was trying to make it a little more. I was trying to drum up a little more conversation with, wait, what semi-magical entity could perform pedophilia?
Never mind. Hasty retreat.
I guess the Great Gazoo?
Mr. Mixelplex?
I'm from the future. It's normal there, I promise.
Yeah.
It's totally legal. It's like marijuana from state to state. I'm from the future. It's fine. Trust me.
It's not a choice.
Those jazz cigarettes?
We raise you for this very purpose in our future. Next question. Fuck, marry, kill. Sponsored by milkross.com. Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion. I'm fucking the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, I'm fucking
It's
that.
the one with the warm hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, that's a great sub. Like, that's a great sub.
Oh, yeah.
Like, real good. Yeah.
Come in my ass.
Yeah.
Come in my ass.
Apparently, I can get a boner real fast, too. I'm going to, I guess, marry Tin Man because he can, like, fucking, he seems like he's handy.
He's a protector.
yeah, he can
and
chop down trees and shit.
That's true. Yeah, he's the more utilitarian pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll kill the Scarecrow
Just light him on fire.
that
It's easy.
motherfucker, yeah, like he's like, what's he gonna do? Ever cook popcorn? No.
Oh, he's going to tell me how many times do I have to hear about a fucking isosceles triangle, motherfucker. I get it. You're smart. So we're in
all in
agreement,
agreement on that
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah. There's very little discussion to be had here.
We
Yeah.
flee from little girls. We fuck lions.
You're right.
We marry Tin Men and we kill scarecrows.
Like, I mean, really, out of all three of those, only the Cowardly Lion could give you a tit fuck.
Yep.
Fuck, marry, kill. Glinda the Good, the Wicked Witch, and the Wizard of Oz.
James Franco Wizard of Oz or old Wizard of Oz?
I think we're talking about the original wizard. I'm fucking the witch. I'm marrying Glinda.
Man, we're on the same
And I'm
page.
killing the
Yep.
wizard.
We're on the same
Yep.
page, man. How
Yep.
great
Not,
would it
and
be?
it's not just because the wizard is a dude. It's because the wizard is a piece of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking hate him. So
Glinda, Glinda kind of is too. So
Glinda kind of is too, but I don't know. I might have to change my mind because based on what I know about Elphaba, she's actually not that bad.
Oh no! If we're doing Elphaba, not just the Wicked Witch, that's yeah,
She's the Marion. She's the one I'd marry. I just boned Glinda.
yeah. She's just been a product of society rejecting her because her skin's different.
Truth.
Are the witches sisters?
No.
The Wicked Witch of the Wicked Witches are.
The Wicked
The
Witches
Wicked
are
Witches-
east. The
okay.
east and the west, they are sisters.
Okay.
But Glinda is not.
You'll
they're
notice
school friends.
that the Wicked Witch of the East is not on this list, implying that maybe Dane thinks that pedophilia might be okay. Necrophilia, right out.
Nope.
So I'm fucking Glinda, marrying the Wicked Witch, and killing the wizard. Wizard dies in any case.
Okay.
For me.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to lock in the answer. There is no right answer. Follow your heart. If only I had a heart. Submit. And we'll see if we get answers. Okay. Your response has been recorded. View score.
Okay.
Click that. There we go. All right. First question. What was the name of the Tin Woodman?
We went with Nick.
We went with
Plinko
Nick. We were correct.
Yay.
Sweet.
That's right. Turns out the Tin Man's canon name is Nick Chopper,
All right.
So yeah. I feel like I'd heard something like that. Okay.
which
That's
sounds
my new Discord name. Nobody else can have it.
mine is Dick Chopper, which sounds really dumb when you read it out loud for the first time. I still think Tim would have been better. Next question was L. Frank Baum, author of the Oz books, was a published nonfiction writer. What was the subject of his debut work?
We went with chickens.
We
and
went with
Tyler
chickens.
went with the Brothers Grimm.
Here's a quote.
Well, I guess I should have listened to nonfiction.
Well, it was a
thesis
on the terror-inducing Brothers
so that
Grimm.
still counts.
Dane has a quote here, and I quote, his first book in 1886, however, was a brief treatise on, quote, the mating, rearing, and management, unquote, of a breed of chicken.
Chickens.
Baum was a poultry fancier. Ergo, raised chickens that fuck.
Okay.
Incidentally, his parents actually bought him a printing press as a child. He was terrified of Grimm's tales and had a sizable stamp collection. So this list was based on real interests of his.
Okay.
Next question was, how much more did Terry, the dog who played Toto, make compared to the actors playing the Munchkins? We guessed $25.
Yes.
The correct answer, $75.
Jesus Christ. That is a huge amount of money in 1939.
Yes.
Wow.
Dane says $75 fucking dollars.
More. $75 more.
I'm assuming. I'm still not 100%
That's what the
clear, but that's what it seems like.
God.
Accounting for inflation, that's equivalent to $1,600 today. The dog was making $1,600 a week in 1939. Each of the actors who played the Munchkins brought in, here we go, $100 per week, but only took home half that as the other 50 went to their manager.
Oh, God.
An Elvis situation.
Yes.
Terry, however, was paid a cool $125 for her demanding role of walking beside Judy Garland.
Jesus.
Also, the Munchkins were fleeing Nazi Germany. So that's a thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Is that truth?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's fucked up, man.
Fucked up. They're grateful for this. Then they find out that fucking dog is making how much?
Send that dog back to Germany. Next question was, which of the props or substances were the least hazardous on the set? We guessed
The lion's costume.
the lion's costume. The correct answer is the Tin Man's oil tears. Dane says the witch's makeup was copper-based and so toxic, she was forced to drink her meals through a straw on set. The snow was fucking asbestos. which they already knew would kill you.
Oh, they did know. Wow.
And the Tin Man's tears were just chocolate syrup. The lion's costume was real lion pelts and non-toxic at all, but weighed 100 pounds and nearly induced heat stroke under the intense lighting required to film in Technicolor.
Well, not to mention how much that motherfucker moved around in that thing. Like he went running in it.
Yes.
And they didn't use stuntmen for that shit.
So we should get Jackie Chan for the next Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then the morality questions, he gives us no guidance on that, nor the fuck murder kills.
Okay. Well,
Fuck Mary kills.
we were about 50% on that.
All right.
Tyler was 25% because of the Grimm
Grimm fairy
Brothers
tales,
Grimm
yeah.
thing.
That's pretty good for us.
Yeah.
I'll take that
Especially
as
we haven't had a quiz in a while.
take
We're
that as a
rusty.
win.
We're rusty like the Tin Man.
That's right.
Just need a little oil can.
Okay. Man, when I was playing this game, you saying oil can and all that reminded me. Henry came in and he was like, "What are you doing?" As he is to do typically when it's time for bed and I'm playing a Super Nintendo game for the show. And I'm like, playing The Wizard of Oz. And he was like, "Oh!" And I was like, "You know The Wizard of Oz?" Because we haven't watched it together. He's like, "Yeah, lions and tigers and bears."
Oh, my.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's right." I was like, "How do you know about that?" School. Oh, all right, cool.
Good night.
Nah, I'm a softie when it comes to
Hey,
usually.
kid, you a lion, you a tiger, you a bear. Elementary school playground rules.
Usually I'm pretty hard ass about getting him in bed, but when he's watching me play a Super Nintendo game, he knows he's got a little more time.
He knows he's on borrowed time. Well, it's pretty late, boys. So we probably need to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Thank you, Dane, for the quiz.
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you very much.
It was great.
Thank you for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes. iTunes?
Yes.
Digital graveyards.
It's
where you can
Spooktober.
upload your soul.
Yes.
iTunes.
iTunes. I'm going to go ahead and register that.
Not SoundCloud, Spotify, just everywhere. Just Google TADPOG. Let's see. We got a lot of different things to go through, but the most important being Patreon and Ian's Toy Box.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you about our wonderful donors who are known as our executive producers. They donate $20 or more to the cause every single month. And I'm going to read that list right now, starting with Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, who shares a name with the Tin Man, Cubicle Monkey, Enthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Usurper Grimm, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Landon, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, and Drink Smith Joey Webster. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thanks to everyone who donates to the show.
Hell yes, thank you.
We love doing this show, and we're so honored that you feel that even in these trying economic
especially
times,
in these times.
you can find a little money to throw our way so we can keep doing it. And as a reward for that, one of the things I've been doing, as I've mentioned many, many times, is my big toy box. I've got a nice toy box in there. Big toy box. A little toy box in there full of some old stuff that I've had, little toys, mostly Star Wars type stuff.
iTunes is available.
It is. It's available. We just have to make an offer.
Oh, you have to make an offer on it?
Yeah, it's one of those where they'll never leave you
They're
the fuck
squatted
alone.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say $7,000 be worth it. No, don't do that. I'm kidding. Make an offer of $1.
They'll probably sell it to us for $7,000.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Anyway, I've got this toy box full of stuff that I've been giving away. People are very excited. We've had 2 contest winners. They've all been very happy with their prizes. This month, in addition to some toys out of my toy box, if you increase your donation by $1 or donate new $1 or more to the cause, you will be entered to win some toys, and you will also be entered to win, courtesy of Paul Korn, a special 2-character color commission artwork from Landon and Brandon Franklin of Wayward Cross Comics. Again, courtesy of Paul Korn. He's footing the bill for that. Once you've won, we'll put you in touch with him, and then you can tell them what you want drawn and colored for you, and they will do it. This is a one-of-a-kind piece of art just for you. So get your donations in and enter to win. Right now we've got 5 contestants for the month of October. As of the airing of this show, you've still got a few days. If you can get your donations in or increased by 11:59 p.m. October 31st, 2022 in your time zone, you will be entered to win these great prizes. So get in there and do it.
Unless you're the Great Gazoo, you fucking child fucker. You know, you dirty piece of shit.
Yeah. You don't get to enter in that case.
Your time zone is banned.
But everybody else,
you're in.
You're in.
Wasn't he responsible for something awful in the future? So he was sitting
Yeah, I
back?
just told you.
Yeah.
Were you not listening to the whole bit?
I mean, yeah, it was.
I was reading that from the Flintstonepedia.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to check out Wayward Cross, search out Wayward Cross Art on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok.
You should check it out. They're really talented.
For sure.
For real.
So our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track. Find the show notes at tadpog.com. Hey, you guys want to close it out?
Like really tired.
Okay. Perfect. I want to try that hard on that one. So until next time, tropical Capricorn.
I'm a gassy boy. I'm gassy. I hate Popeyes. It's not my fault.